The following sports special is a broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
We ready? Yeah. We ready?
Yeah. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school football. To get you ready for today's play-by-play action, we'll bring you interviews, in-depth analysis, and important game information on the pregame show. So let's get things started by going to the stadium and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
And a very pleasant good evening across the Eastern Panhandle or wherever you may be tuning in. Welcome to West Virginia high school football. It's the opening night across the Mountain State, and our matchup features the Hedgesville Eagles in Charlestown taking on the Washington Patriots. I'm Matt Crawford, joined by Matt Miller doing color commentary tonight. John Alderton is our TV 10 cameraman, and Caleb Falero is back at the studio. These are two teams coming into this year with a whole lot of question marks as to what their 2019 season is going to look like. Hedgesville coming off a 7-5 campaign in which they got to the second round of the West Virginia AAA playoffs last year, falling in the second round to Capital 48-14. And this is a Washington Patriot team that is looking for their first win since 2017, in which they went 3-7. Glenn Simpson leads these Washington Patriots out onto the field today in year number 4, while his opponent Joey Urish also entering his 4th this season. Coming back into the broadcast booth, doing some other stuff upstairs, some camera work. My partner in crime tonight, Matt Miller. Everything looking good, Matt?
Everything looks good. Just working with John Alderton, making sure that we had all of our right connections and that he could hear loud and clear as we get ready for our not only radio but TV 10 broadcast.
Yeah, looking forward to it again. You was just touching on how these teams finished last year, and these are two teams that I think have a good amount of question marks coming into this year.
Yeah, absolutely. For the Washington Patriots, we heard all last year from head coach Glenn Simpson, now in his 4th season, that this was a group that was making deposits. All right, they were working hard, they were putting in time, they were putting in effort, they were putting in energy, and even though they may not be seeing results in victories, they were getting a little bit better each day. And now, hopefully, this year is when they can start making some of the withdrawals on those deposits and begin to see that hard work turn into some victories. Meanwhile, for Hedgesville, another strong run last year, 7 wins, 5 losses, including that playoff victory. But they have a lot of holes to fill, losing some very good players last year, both to graduation and as well as we talked with Joey Urish, some players that moved and transferred to other area schools. And so they've got to find out who's going to be the particular player or players to step up and fill those holes.
In this matchup last year, Hedgesville, a lopsided 68-8 win. That was at Hedgesville, and Washington looking for the first win in this series since 2015 when they really took it to Hedgesville 59-0. That was right here at Marcus Field.
Ironically enough, this series very, very even. They've played 11 times. This will be the 12th meeting since Washington opened back in that 2008 season, and Hedgesville leads 6 wins to 5 losses. So a Washington win in this one would even that series back up again.
Looking forward to it. Just about 30 minutes away from kickoff here in Charlestown. The pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Phone 304-350-1931 or visit them online at whmsystems.com. We got to get in our first break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on around the area. Really tomorrow night, the only game around here in action tonight. We'll also take a look at some of the other games going on around the Mountain State tonight. That coming up next in the pregame show. This is West Virginia High School football on WRNR and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a monitored security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Welcome back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Hedgesville in town taking on the Washington Patriots in Charlestown. Kickoff in a little under a half hour from now. It's time for the check of the area schedule, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance, a full-line insurance agency on Lakeview Drive at the intersection of Rockcliffe Drive in Martinsburg. Well, Matt, the only game in the Eastern Panhandle that is taking place tonight, but one other AAA game is taking place tonight, about as far from here as you can possibly get in the Mountain State. It's GW taking on South Charleston.
We were just down around South Charleston back during the Little League State Tournament. In fact, drove up and saw the facilities there, and that will be the host site as GW and South Charleston get together. And they're much like Hedgesville and Washington, that they, over the last handful of years, have put together that Thursday night game and said, hey, let's get started before everyone else, and we'll see how that one plays out. Usually two teams that are fighting to be in the playoffs.
Let's go to, we'll talk about some of the other games throughout the game happening in AA and Single A, but let's preview the matchups going on around the area tomorrow night. The game you can catch right here at the pregame at 6 o'clock, kickoff at 7. It'll be H.D. Woodson coming back to Coburn Field to take on the Martinsburg Bulldogs.
H.D. Woodson last year, after a slow start against some good competition, including the Martinsburg Bulldogs, reeled off 9 consecutive victories. They won the Turkey Bowl, but ultimately fell in that D.C. championship game, so they finished at 9 wins and 4 losses on the season. They bring a lot of players back from that team last year, a number of college, including big Division I prospects, and so they've got some athletes coming into Coburn Field facing a Martinsburg team that is the 3-time defending state champions. They've won 7 of the last 9 state titles, and right now riding what is a West Virginia record, 42 consecutive wins into that matchup tomorrow night, so it'll be a good test.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing not only how Martinsburg comes back trying to get title number 4, but also the athleticism out of one of those D.C. schools in H.D. Woodson. Well, this is not the only EPAC on EPAC matchup in Week 1. The other one is Spring Mills and a Musselman, and those two teams trying to fill a lot of holes in a different way than I think we're seeing from the two teams in front of us today. You had injuries on the side of Spring Mills, and Musselman just guys graduating, having to the next man up mentality, which is in a way what Musselman's built off of, right?
Well, there it is. I mean, Musselman had those same questions going into last season, and they found those guys that not only answered those questions, but answered with a big exclamation point, including Trey Beard, who stepped in at quarterback and did so well, and Musselman finished 11-2, made it to the semifinals, and in fact, their only 2 losses all season came against the eventual AAA state champion Martinsburg Bulldogs. So anxious to see how this Musselman team responds and how Caleb Horner comes out and does at that quarterback spot for them tonight. Meanwhile, you mentioned the injuries. You feel for Keon Padmore Johnson and for this Cardinals team. He was a dynamic young quarterback last year, and we were looking forward to seeing what he would do another year older, and unfortunately out with a knee injury. But again, somebody's got to step in. Here comes Chase Henson. Let's see what he can do at that quarterback spot and see if he can help this Cardinals team get back to the playoffs again. They went 5-5 last year, getting into the postseason before losing in the opening round.
And the last game on the menu for tomorrow night, it is another tough start out of the teams from Winchester facing the other team in Jefferson County here, the Jefferson Cougars. They'll have Millbrook tomorrow night before facing Sharando the week after, so not an easy way to ease into this 2019 season.
No, and I think Musselman is in Week 3, so for the Jefferson Cougars, 3 very good opponents to begin the season, and we'll see how they can do. They're coming off of a 22-8 campaign a year ago, in which they won 2 of their last 4 games. So after a rough start, we're finally able to begin to turn the corner. And Jefferson has some key players back, including at quarterback, at running back. Coach Hunter telling us he feels good about what they've got coming back along that offensive front line as well. So hopefully they can sustain some drives, keep things going. Hey, it was a close loss against Millbrook last year. Maybe the Cougars can get over top and beat the Pioneers to open this year.
Well, there's your check of the area schedule, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance at 724 Lakeview Drive, near the intersection of Rockcliffe Drive in Martinsburg. Phone number 304-263-4596. All right, we're going to get in our next break, and on the backside of this, we'll hear from both coaches. Joey Urish for Hedgesville, Glenn Simpson for Washington. That coming up on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show next. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com. Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
I think our guys are finally just excited to go up against somebody other than themselves. With such a limited number of guys out this year, we don't get an opportunity to go out and bang as much as you'd like to in the sport of football. So I think they're just excited to go out and see somebody in a different colored jersey.
How much did that second scrimmage prepare you guys for week 1 with the similar offenses?
They're very similar as far as what Frankfurt does and what Washington does. Obviously, I think Frankfurt's much better at it just because they've been doing it for a much longer time period, and they're very, very big up front. But it was a good, it was a good test for us, for our guys to see, pulling guards and to see how that wing tee is developed to confuse the defense. So if our guys do their jobs and read their keys like they've been taught the last week and a half, I think we'll be okay.
You've got a young football team. How big were those 2 scrimmages? How much do you believe they learned about themselves going into this opener?
I think, obviously any rep is a good rep, and when it comes to those guys learning, plus they made a lot of mistakes and they were able to learn from those mistakes. And a wise man once said, "The eye in the sky never lies." So we've been able to watch a good bit of film that can relate to these guys, and it makes things much clearer for them as far as practice plans are concerned, and then helps them prepare for the week. So obviously, I think those 2 scrimmages are very important anytime, but especially this year with the young group that we have.
Obviously, coaches always think there's stuff to improve on, but do you see this group ready to take on the regular season?
Yeah, obviously, weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are going to be very tough for those young guys. But they're going to have to grow up fast, and they can't be sophomores very long. They're going to have to be juniors and seniors by week 3, week 4. And, mental preparedness and strength has to be a key component for those young men going into this season.
Tell us a little about the senior leadership that you're seeing from this group.
Devin Heath and Sawyer Twig, Gerald Jones and Ethan Von Glon are 4 guys that have stayed with us since the beginning and stuck it out. We also got a young man named J.R. Luttrell, and honestly, those 5 guys have done a tremendous job with everything that's been going on, in our program, around our program with kids leaving and going to different areas. They've stayed here. They've stayed strongly and loyal to the program, and they've helped, mold what their expectations are for Hedgesville. And they've learned a lot, and I'm really proud of those guys because, they could have easily taken the high road, but they stayed and wanted to work.
I know you mentioned that Washington's still going to be implementing a new offense, but what do you see out of the Patriots as a team coming in week 1?
It's tough to be down there at Washington and in Jefferson County anyway because, baseball is such a key focal point for those kids down there, and football's always been on the back burner. But, Glenn does a good job. They do have some good-looking kids this year. They use 3 different quarterbacks. I like all 3 of those quarterbacks. They all have their own unique qualities. 2 of them are really good runners. One of them is a really good thrower. They have 2 really big tight ends. And they have more kids than we do this year. So, Glenn's done a good job of getting the kids to come out, and he's trying to build a program, and he's going to do what he's supposed to do to try to make a successful program out of that program down there.
Do your kids get excited that you get to kind of start before everybody else playing on a Thursday night?
Yeah, they gave me crap this year because they wanted to be like Musselman to start a midnight practice. They wanted to start a new tradition. And I said, well, guys, that's Musselman's tradition. And they said, well, we want to make it our tradition. So I told them, we get to play first before everybody else, and they get to practice first. So we'll take our, own and let them own their thing. So they're eager to get started. They are, and always excited to show people that he can play quarterback. And I had a rough end to the last year, but he's excited to go out there and prove himself.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. Look forward to seeing you down there Thursday.
All right, guys, I'll see you Thursday.
You care about your car, so you take it to the best mechanic. You love your dog, so you take it to a vet you trust. So why go with just anyone when it comes to your insurance? With a local Allstate agent, you get expert advice you can trust and the best coverage for you. And because they live in your community, you can always count on them to be there when you need them the most.
Call Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
Our whole program is extremely excited right now. We got 50 kids out, and they're supporting each other, they're rooting for each other, they're pushing each other, and everybody is excited to get out there and face somebody different for a change. So we're all excited. Get to open up the football season here Thursday night at Terry L. Marcus Stadium, and man, we are excited.
Putting in a new offense this year, you think you're ready for week 1 with that yet? I know obviously a coach is never satisfied with what he sees, but you think it's going to be a pretty good product come Thursday?
I think so. I think we've seen a lot of progress over the summer, even starting back in June when we started to install the system. We got to see coming into them from June to August camp, we got to see some growth there. And then from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2, those adjustments that we were making with our backs and our linemen, they were buying in, they were being coachable, making the adjustments that we're seeing on film. And then when we get to our second scrimmage, you see it. You see the change on tape, and it's very encouraging to see these young men buy into the offense the way they have.
Tell us a little about your defensive side of the football and how much you may rely on them, especially early on as this offense continues to develop.
Well, I think they're going to our defense, I think we have the opportunity to be a very sound defense, and the way we play it, is going to be more symbiotic with the offense and the defense than we have been in the past. And they're going to very much support each other. Won't really be relying on our defense, but I will be very disappointed if we're not playing good defense and setting up our offense with good field position.
The Thursday night game, obviously you're one of the few teams across the state that opens up the night before everybody. Does that give your team a little extra energy knowing you're going to be one of the first on the field in game situation?
Absolutely. We get the opportunity to kick it off the day before everybody else in the Panhandle, and that's exciting. We're hoping that, people from around the Panhandle, on Thursday evening come out to the stadium here and check us out and see what's going on with Washington and, of course, with Hedgesville. And, it's going to be a great atmosphere. You have the spotlight on us, and I think it's, the kids are excited about it. They're so ready to go.
When you look at this Hedgesville team, what is it you see in your opening opponent?
Well, they're a little bit scary to me. A little bit scary. I know they have some athletes over there. Their quarterback is a dangerous human being on the football field, and he's got some weapons around him that I've known for years through that program, and I know that they're going to come ready to play. I know Coach Urish and his staff over there are going to have them focused on their X's and O's. They're going to come out with a great attitude and great energy, and they're going to come out here and expect to win. But I think we're up to the challenge. I think our guys are equally as intent on putting a good product on the field, and it's going to be a heck of a battle.
This is a game that is going to be at your home field, as you already talked about, but a week ago, we got word that it may not be there. We understand work going on the track. How good is it to actually be at home after everything transpired that you might be or might not be, but now you definitely are?
Well, being at home is, we're hoping for that great environment. We were excited, with the young men walking in the building when school started, they're excited to play. The student body is getting excited to watch them play, and to have that build up. Boy, Thursday night we're gonna open the season. We're gonna have everybody here. The band's fired up. The cheerleaders are fired up. We're getting everything put together, and then it was kind of a letdown when word started to surface that we may not have our home game. Once that got reaffirmed that we were having it at home, that just increased, it elevated our focus and attention and the excitement around this building even more.
Well, Coach, we look forward to being down there and getting this one on the air. We will see you on Thursday night.
Look forward to it. Thank you so much, fellas.
Today we're going to show you how easy it is to make restaurant quality soup in your own home. Step 1, grab a bag of any of the delicious flavors of soups at Johnny's. Step 2, put the soup in the pot and add water. Step 3, walk away. In about 45 minutes, restaurant quality soup for the entire family.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service. Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
And we welcome you back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's time for the keys to the game. Brought to you by Luttrell LC. Let Chris Luttrell hand you the keys to your new home. For all your real estate legal needs, call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. Matt, let's start with the visiting Hedgesville Eagles. What do they need to do offensively and defensively in your eyes to come out of here with a 1-0 record after 1 week of play?
As I've been thinking about this, I'm going to take them both on at the same time because, Matt, I think that the keys are very similar for two young football teams. Key number one, not making mistakes. Whichever team can come out here and execute the best, not jumping off sides, not having false starts, not having holding penalties that would call back big plays, that is going to be obviously huge. Number two, one of these two teams is going to have to establish something on that offensive side of the football, whether it's going to be the passing game, whether it's going to be the running game, and it could be a mixture for this Washington team out of that single wing. I think you want to see Owe Ash come out and be able to establish himself throwing the football if you're Hedgesville, and of course the defense. These two teams really have got to find a way to hold down the opponent because it may take a little while for these two offenses to really get going, so defense will be key.
All right, let's switch to the Hedgesville Eagles real quick. What do you see out of them, or the Washington Patriots rather, to come out of here with a 1-0 record at home?
Well, and again, I think it's the exact same thing for both of these teams because of their youth.
All right, we got to get in our last break. The keys to the game have been a service of Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC. Locally owned, they know the business and are part of the community. You can win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs. Just call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. Starting lineups in the opening kickoff coming up next. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
If you're a hard-working man or woman, you want to get the best selection and value that you possibly can.
Hardworking folks know Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning is the best way to get the service you need if you have a heating or cooling problem. They'll beat any written price. Offer 24-hour service with free estimates and affordable financing. 24 hours a day, call Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality meets comfort at 304-260-5644.
I'm just going to have to jump right in.
Hey, don't we got to stand up to do this? Right? Stand up? Don't we stand up for this? Never mind. Everyone sit down. Take a break. Get your breath. All right, hey, good dress rehearsal. Good dress rehearsal. We're ready. We're ready now. Hey, I saw it. Do it again.
And welcome back in. As we thought we were going to be giving you the first play quickly, as both teams were out on the field. Hedgesville ready to receive the balls. They were going to receive the opening kickoff to our right, moving right to left across your TV screen and or radio dial. But instead, we will have time for some starting lineups. Today's starting lineups are brought to you by DNN Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, then start at DNN Auto to get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Call 304-267-4078. Let's start with Hedgesville offensively, since that's who's going to be on the field first. At quarterback, junior Owie Ash. His offensive line in front of him will be Ryan Kegley at left tackle, Jacob Lanham at left guard. Ethan Von Glon, the only senior on that offensive line, is at center. Number 54, Gabe Toast, is a sophomore at right guard. The smallest one only runs 190 and 5'10". And then right tackle, Brandon Grove. The receivers for Owie Ash and Coach Joey Urish, Gerald Jones, the senior, along with senior J.R. Luttrell. Devin Heath, the one of three seniors at the receiving corps, and Drake Heath, the sophomore. The four wide receivers for the Eagles. Running back is Sawyer Twig. Defensively for the Washington Patriots, Fleetwood White, Ethan Pessy, Jonathan Lavely, and Tyson Lincoln are your defensive linemen. At linebacker, Jimmy Williams and Jace Bradbury. Ethan Cockrell, Terrence Jones, Cody Grove, Jacob Gawkler, and Tommy Wogan are your defensive backs. We'll set up the other side of the starting lineups when those parts of the team hit the field. Defense for Hedgesville and offense for Washington will happen when those two hit the field. Starting lineups have been brought to you by DNN Auto Specialists, where honesty is their best policy, specializing in exhaust, alignment, and tires. Call DNN Auto Specialists at 304-267-4078. And Matt, you got to remind yourself that it's the first game for everybody. I mean, had just taken our last break and both teams out onto the field ready to go, and now we're, I guess, going to hold till 7 o'clock on the dot.
Oh, and that's fine with us. Let's get through the rest of our lineups, including today's game officials, a 5-man Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference crew. David Aird is our referee. Kim Reed is the back judge. John Jones, the linesman. The line judge is Jimmy Pearson, and our umpire is Jeff Dodd. That is our umpiring crew.
The game officials brought to you by Appalachian Heating and Air in Martinsburg. Installation and replacement, repair and maintenance, trouble prevention, or 24-hour emergency service. Appalachian Heating and Air does it all. Phone 304-260-5644 or go to AppalachianHeatingAir.com. Again, with as quickly as everybody went out there, really surprised that we haven't seen the opening kickoff yet. But I guess that is to come here in still another 3 minutes from now.
Oh, and let's see what happens. Special teams, especially early on, so key in these games because a lot of times you just don't get that opportunity to practice those things in your scrimmage game setting. Yes, you work on them in practice each day, but again, most of those are non-contact because you don't want players getting injured in those situations. And then when you get into the first scrimmage, it tends to be more of a series type of scrimmage. Each team will run 10 plays, 12 plays, 15 plays, whatever it may be, and you don't really do a whole lot with the special teams. That second scrimmage, a lot of times, they'll try to at least incorporate some portion of the special teams, but really this will probably be the first time that either one of these special teams units has faced a live kickoff situation.
As we are just moments away from kickoff, I want to remind you our pregame show was brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Phone 304-350-1931 or visit them online at WHMsystems.com. Washington, the home team, on the near sideline in the all-red uniforms. Blue Patriots across the front with white numbers, a little bit of a blue trim. Red helmets with that white W. It's really the logo they've become known by.
Yeah, and I like the look. I like the red-on-red look. The red pants, the red jersey tops with that red helmet looks sharp.
On the far sideline, the visiting Hedgesville Eagles also going with one color. I'm thinking the NFL color rush. They're wearing the all-white, the blue numbers with Hedgesville across the front of the jersey in blue. A little bit of a gold trim around those blue numbers. The blue helmet with the gold H on the side. Pretty sharp-looking helmets, going with a little bit of the old-school look, I think.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a little bit of the eagle in there as well with that gold coloring on the football helmet. Yeah, really nice look for both of these teams.
Looks like we are getting ready to have both teams come back out as Hedgesville will receive to our right. Again, going right to left. Looks like it's going to be Drake and Devin Heath going back to return the opening kickoff. So if it gets back to them, it's pretty easy to know who's going to be back there. It's going to be a Heath one way or another. Washington bunched up right now. Still trying to figure out who their kicker is. Looks like it's going to be a number 24, a Griffin Price, as he will tee the ball up. Now it is Price as the fans here at Marcus Stadium come alive. The opening kickoff, a service of Davis Designs, to remind you that first impressions mean a lot. For personal and business signs, vehicle wraps from mile to wild. Let Tom take care of all your signage needs. Davis Designs at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Check them out on Facebook or phone 304-267-7807. Opening kickoff of the 2019 season is a pooch kick up to about the 30-yard line. Bounces once. Hedgesville has it up to the 35 and swallowed up immediately at the 35-yard line. Hedgesville take over first and 10, returning that one. It looks like a number 6. That'll be Nathan Albright.
Yeah, good decision there. Washington didn't want to kick deep and risk maybe that long return, so you pop that kick up into the middle of the special teams, let one of those up guys take it, and then get down and quickly shut him down.
Beautiful day here at Marcus Field. The sun coming right into the press box. Should be interesting on some plays to the far side from about the 40 to the 20. But overall, temperature-wise, can't ask for a better day. OE Ash by himself in the shotgun. The junior quarterback, the full season starter this year. And the first play will be a false start. The near side receiver, Gerald Jones, jumps on the first play of the game. And man, it's a deja vu all over again. I believe this is just about the same way it started last year.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you expect here in the early going. You've got the excitement, the adrenaline pumping, ready to go. You're supposed to go on the second count, not the first, and you get a receiver that jumps.
The offense looking at their wristbands. It has the play from the sidelines. It'll be 2 receivers to each side, running back in the backfield to the left of OE Ash. There's the give right up the middle to number 5, David Vadasi, and he is wrapped up immediately after a gain of what looks like only about 2.
Yeah, nice job by Washington to smother the ball carrier. That was actually a 9 on that carry. That's a Sawyer Twig. Yeah, the 5'10 running back.
That'll bring up what looks like about a second down and 13 coming up for Hedgesville. Again, following that first play, false start penalty. OE Ash now by himself in the shotgun formation. He's going to drop back pass for the first time in this game, going and deep up the left sideline. He's got Heath, but just gets off the fingertips of Devin Heath, who is diving at about the 40-yard line in Washington territory. He can't come up with. That's a play that I think later on in the season they probably connect on.
Terrence Jones on the coverage for Washington was right there stride for stride. That pass had just a little too much on it. Great effort by Devin Heath, diving with one hand on it, fully extended, still almost brought it in.
Let's see what Hedgesville and Coach Joey Urish have dialed up here for the first 3rd and long of the season. It'll be 3rd and 13. Once again, it'll be OE Ash by himself in the shotgun formation. Bunch receivers to the far side. As he's going to roll out to that far side where the blockers are, he will hesitate and then use his feet and gain just about 3 yards back to the original line of scrimmage, but a flag down in the area of holding, and that's what it will be. And we'll see if that penalty is declined, because it will bring up about a 4th and 10.
Yeah, I'd imagine you've got to decline this penalty. Take the result of that play as you got good defensive pressure. It will bring up that 4th down and very long, and you'll see the punting unit come on.
And now we see the decline signal from the Washington sideline, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 10 and a great first series defensively for the Washington Patriots. Out to punt now for Hedgesville. Trying to get a number on that punt. Looks like a 14 gets it away. One man back for Washington. The ball's going to bounce inside the 40. Touches what looked like Gerald Jones before going back inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. Maybe it was just the way it skipped. Looked like it went off the knee of Gerald Jones, but the ball will be marked at the 25-yard line, so Washington the majority of the field to go.
Well, the punt covers 39 yards with no return, so Hedgesville able to at least exchange field position after not being able to get anything going on that opening possession, and it all started with what? That procedure penalty that put them in a 1st and 15, and they couldn't recover.
The new-look Washington Patriots is they're going to run the single wing. Has no receiver out right now, just a really tight-to-the-line tight end, quarterback in the shotgun formation. Is Tommy Wogan. He will pitch to the left side. He's up across the 45-yard line to the 50, across the field. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. He will be into the end zone. Looked like he may have stepped out of bounds at about the 20, but into the end zone is Jace Bradbury for a Washington Patriot touchdown. But now we see the referee standing at the 34-yard line, and they're going to say that Bradbury stepped out at the 34.
Yeah, that game will be good for 41 yards on that very opening snap. Chase Bradbury taking that one, gave a little play fake in the backfield on a handoff, and then took it off the right side of the line. Good blocking, and then he broke one tackle to get into the clear.
Great run by Jace Bradbury. Again, I thought he may have had touched the sideline, but with the energy here and the screaming, couldn't hear a whistle, and he was off to the races. Saw good speed getting into the end zone. So once again out of that single wing. Two quarterbacks in that backfield. This one's going to go to Wogan, but go over his head. That's a loose ball. Coming up with it, what looks like the Hedgesville Eagles, and Devin Heath has it. It's going to be Hedgesville Eagle football. So just like that, after a great first play offensively for Washington, a turnover the very next play, and Hedgesville's going to have it in Washington territory, 1st and 10. Just a high snap from the center of Washington. Got well over the head of Tommy Wogan.
Yeah, loss of 21 yards along with the loss of the football, and each of these teams making early mistakes.
And one penalty that didn't result to a turnover, that one resulting in a turnover for Washington. Ellie Ash with it, he fakes the handoff. He'll take it himself up the middle and be stopped after a gain of about 3 to bring up 2nd and 7. Went off that right guard, was able to find a small seam and get positive yards.
Looked like Jace Bradbury in there on that tackle. Nice job by the guys up front early on in this defense for Washington, helping to control that line and make those gains on the ground short.
3 receivers to this near side, 1 to the far side. A running back in the backfield is Sawyer Twig next to Owie Ash. Ash drops back. He swings that to Devin Heath on the wide receiver screen, and Heath is wrapped up immediately and will be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a half yard, but nothing more.
Yeah, very good defense out there. That pass just a little bit high as Devin Heath had to jump up and get it. Had no chance to come back down and establish himself in any way.
At about the 41.5-yard line, Hedgesville in Washington territory, 9:48 as the clock continues to run here in quarter number 1. 2 receivers to each side of Owie Ash. Sawyer Twig to the left of Ash in the shotgun formation. Every play so far has come from the shotgun for Hedgesville. Ash drops back to pass. He's going deep down the left side, going for Jones, and Jones makes the catch inside the 10. Will be pushed out at the 5-yard line. 1st and 10 inside the red zone. It'll be 1st and goal at the 5 for Hedgesville. Great throw by Owie Ash. Great job by Gerald Jones running it down.
Yeah, Jacob Gawkler out there defensively. Looked like a little hand pushing between the two, and it was the offensive player that was able to win that battle as Jones got some separation and pulled it in.
Great throw by Owie Ash. We talked about him making those longer throws later on in the season. How about later on in the game, the very next throw? Great job by Gerald Jones. It'll be 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Ash back in the shotgun formation. There's the give up the middle, breaking it out to the outside. But a great stop at the goal line as they will keep Sawyer Twig out of the end zone. But coming up 2nd and goal at the 1. It was a good job by Sawyer Twig going off left tackle, then bouncing it outside, trying to get to the goal line.
How about Terrence Jones, who was the one that really came up there with the momentum, got some help from his friends to be able to put the hit on him, turn him sideways, and keep him out of the end zone.
It'll bring up 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. 9 minutes to play here in quarter number 1. Hedgesville knocking at the door. It'll be 2 receivers to each side, stacked one on top of the other. Sawyer Twig next to Owie Ash in the shotgun formation. There's the snap to Ash. He's going to take it himself, try to cut to the outside, and he will be stopped at the goal line. 2nd effort. He is in. It's a Hedgesville Eagle touchdown, their first touchdown of this 2019 season.
Well, you see it a lot from offenses nowadays, as opposed to bringing everybody in tight and getting into those goal line sets. You stay with that spread formation and you get everybody wide to the field, and then you find your hole. And a nice job by Owie Ash finding that hole off the right side. Even though he got hit, the good solid second effort, gets him in.
And it looks like Hedgesville may go for 2 with some trickery up the middle, and nothing doing. Good defensive stop for Washington as Hedgesville was going for 2 on the trickery, and they are stopped on a little cross seam by some running backs out in front. Good job by the defensive line, the big men in the trenches for Washington. With 8:22 left in the first quarter, we'll take our first break. It is Hedgesville 6, Washington 0. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
First impressions count, and your sign is your signature. Davis Designs is locally owned and locally operated with a legacy that spans over 30 years. Davis Designs is your one-stop shop for custom handcrafted signs, banners, vehicle lettering, design services, and vehicle wraps. Everything from temporary signs to hand-painted gold leafs. Go see Tom for anything from mild to wild. Call 304-267-7807. Follow them on Facebook at Davis Designs or stop by at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Create your design today.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Let's go, Pregame!
Frankie Amore back to receive for Washington. Hedgesville, the 6-0 lead. Coming on a run from the 1-yard line by Owe-Ash. A squib up the middle and loose on the ground at the 32-yard line, but wrapped up by one of the middlemen for Washington. Looking like a number 19.
That's actually 18.
Ethan Cockrell coming up with that one. Got away from him for a brief moment, but he's able to swallow it up, and it'll be Washington Patriot football at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
Scoring drive summary for Hedgesville. After the turnover, took them just 5 plays to cover 45 yards in 2 minutes with the 1-yard touchdown run for quarterback Owe-Ash. 2-point conversion failed, 6-0 Hedgesville.
Again, Washington coming out this year in the single wing. Last possession was a turnover, some trickery now. Moving up the middle is Tommy Wogan. He's got a seam up the middle. He's across the 40-yard line, almost up to that first down marker. If it's not a first down, it's going to be 2nd and inches. Great job finding a seam by Tommy Wogan.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you fake that handoff in the backfield, kind of spin around, you get the whole defense moving to its right, you come back to the left, and you're able to pick up 10 yards.
And that'll bring up a fresh set of downs for the Patriots on the 10-yard run by Wogan. Again, we expect to see multiple quarterbacks being used both right now with their hands up, yelling the cadence out. It'll be Wogan again off the right side, moving up. Actually, make that Frankie Amore, who's moving to the right side, puts that left shoulder down and runs over Drake Heath. Great job by Frankie Amore as he gets a good chunk of yards on first down. It's going to be up across midfield. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 1 as now at the 49-yard line in Hedgesville territory are the Washington Patriots.
Yeah, showed some speed as he was able to get to the edge, turning that corner. Good blocking to seal that edge and pick up 9 yards. You like what Washington's done. Their first play went for 41. They've had a gain of 10, a gain of 9. Outside of that bad snap, this offense has moved the ball.
Once again, you never know in this single wing who's going to get the football. Frankie Amore had it momentarily, coming down with it now is Jace Bradbury's another high snap. Bradbury able to cover it up, but that's going to be a loss of about 10 on that play. Actually make that a loss of about 8 on that play. Bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, they'll put it back to that 42-yard line, it looks like. And so, yeah, once again, a case where Washington finds themselves now in a 3rd and long when they were in a 2nd and very short.
They do continue to move that down marker back a little bit. It will bring up 3rd and 10 for the Washington Patriots. And in this single wing, those 3rd and longs are not the easiest to get. Just showing one quarterback now in the backfield as it was Amore. He'll give the end around to number 35, Terrence Jones, and he is swallowed up immediately by a couple of Eagles in the backfield. That's going to bring up 4th and long, and the punting unit coming on for the Patriots.
Now that'll be a loss if it looks like 3 yards. And again, that play just a little too slow in developing. Good pressure by that Hedgesville front 7 to get in the backfield and make that play behind the line of scrimmage.
Griffin Price, also the punter on the team, kicker and punter, going to be in charge of both duties tonight. Back to receive for Hedgesville. It looks like an 11, Devin Heath. He's senior back to receive the punt. He's got a blocker about 20 yards in front of him, and a high snap again gets over the head of Price, and he will just fall on his ball, gets away. Coming up with it now looks like a Hedgesville Eagle, and that looks like number 9, Sawyer Twig.
Boy, the snaps and adventure early on for Washington, and as a result, they've had a pair of turnovers. Instead of getting the punt out of there and making Hedgesville work their way down the field, that ultimately ends up being a loss of 29 yards, and Hedgesville is set up very nicely at the 10.
Another first and goal opportunity. Their second of this first quarter so far. 6:19 is the time on the clock of this first quarter here at Marcus Field, in which Hedgesville will start their third offensive possession of this game so far. Ash back out. Receivers stacked 2 to each side. Sawyer Twig to his right. There's the snap to Ash to give us a Twig off the left side. And he will break one tackle. We get back up to the 10 now. Inside the 10, down to the 5. Before he is wrapped up by a couple of Patriots red jerseys. And that'll bring up second and goal at the 5, so getting half of what he needed.
Well, that's Nathan Albright out there now at tailback as they keep switching out those tailbacks between Albright and Twig.
Albright will stay in the ball game at running back. Every play so far, and what we expected to see out of the shotgun formation for these Hedgesville Eagles, what we saw all last season as well. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Albright to the right of Ash. Ash going to roll to the right, looking to throw. He has a man in the flats. It's Devin Heath. Hesitates, then walks into the end zone for a Hedgesville Eagle touchdown.
I think Devin Heath was expecting a defender to be a little bit closer, and so as he made that catch moving to the sideline, he stutter-stepped a little bit as he turned upfield to see exactly where that defender might be and realized he had a pretty easy path into the end zone.
It was a quick hesitation, and then at the 1-yard line only really had to take a quick step into the end zone. 12-0 now to lead Hedgesville over the Washington Patriots, and once again, Coach Joey Urish will elect to go for 2. This would make it a full 2-touchdown lead. Ash by himself in the shotgun formation. Pump fakes. Now he's going to take it in and untouched into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 14-0. Now Hedgesville has the lead. 5:32 remaining in the first quarter. We'll step away for a minute-long break. Then we'll come back and see what Washington can do on their ensuing offensive possession. 14-0. Hedgesville leads. 5:32 left in the first quarter. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's
Devin Heath, the ensuing kickoff, a squibbler that barely gets 10 yards. And coming up with it is what looks like an 18. Ethan Cockrell for Washington. Second time he's been in on one of those, and as a front man, not used to seeing the balls come right at him, but in high school football, it's getting more and more common to see them quick squib kicks right up the middle.
That drive for Hedgesville following the bad snap on the punt, 2 plays, 10 yards, took just 47 seconds, a 5-yard touchdown pass. Ash going to Devin Heath, 14-0 Hedgesville.
Scoring drive brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. One player short for Washington is coming back out on the field. It is Tommy Wogan as he takes a snap and gets about a yard on first down to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Well, we talked earlier, keys to the game, not making mistakes, penalties, things that create longer drives, turnovers, that sort of thing. It hurt Hedgesville with the penalty on their opening possession, and Washington has hurt themselves with a couple of bad snaps, one resulting in a turnover, the other the high snap on the punt, costing him a ton of field position, and Hedgesville's taking advantage.
Frankie Amore back out at quarterback, or in this single wing, what we think is quarterback. Again, you never know in this offensive set. Amore does get the snap. He is going to run to the right, cut upfield, and once again swallowed up by a host of Big Eagle defensive linemen, but not going down without a fight. Amore going to be dropped right again at the line of scrimmage. Thought he may have a hold of the right, cut back up towards the center of the field, and then immediately swallowed up. He'll gain about half a yard to a yard on that one, bring up 3rd and 8.
Ethan Von Glon right there to really wrap him up, and then got a lot of help from his friends. They drive him sideways and eventually are able to bring him down. When the Patriots ran that play the first time, Matt, that one went for about 9 yards. So this time Hedgesville snuffed it out.
Nearing 4 minutes left in this first quarter of action. Receiver in motion. Now Jace Bradbury with it. He will power up the middle, lower that right shoulder, and get up to the midfield stripe. But he will be about 4 yards short of that first down marker, and we'll see what head coach Glenn Simpson elects to do here on a 4th and 4.
Well, again, a little misdirection. You fake that handoff, try to get the defense to follow that man through going to the left, and then Bradbury keeps it going back to the right. Hedgesville stayed home in that linebacking core and was able to make the stop.
Price will come back out to punt it away for Washington. As Bradbury not quite getting to midfield, up to the 49-yard line in Patriot territory. So a 4th and 5 a little too long, as again, one man short for Washington coming in late, and again some confusion, and it's going to be a timeout taken by Glenn Simpson as the personnel just not quite where they needed to be. Let's go ahead and take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll have a 4th and 5 punt for Washington, 3:22 remaining in the first quarter. It's Hedgesville 14, Washington 0.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131. Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Devin Heath with the punt return for Hedgesville. Gets a few on the return. A good punt by Price off his right leg, getting to about the 20. Hedgesville receiving at the 20 and taking up to about the 25-yard line. That is where Devin Heath is swallowed up. Good open field tackle by the Patriots.
31 yards on the punt. A little bit of a low spiraling line drive. Nice play by Devin Heath. You don't want to let that one hit and eventually give up more yardage. And nice coverage by Washington to get down and quickly make the tackle.
Based on the field position, I've been impressed so far in this first quarter with what Washington's defense has done. When given a lot of open field, they've done a pretty good job taking away the one long pass to Gerald Jones, and that fumble really giving Hedgesville a nod right at the doorstep.
Oh boy, looks like Coach Glenn Simpson is going to have to burn yet another timeout as the team could not get the defense on.
The second timeout in 2 plays. Again, to take a timeout right before the punt. It gives us a chance to take a look at what else is going on around the Mountain State tonight and what has already happened. 2 games taking place on Monday. In AAA, tonight is GW taking on South Charleston. So rivalry game as well in their own respective conferences, but could not be in further ends of the state, Matt.
No, not at all, and I'll be anxious to see how that one plays out and which one of those teams is ready to stake an early claim to being one of the top teams in that MSAC.
In AA, it's East Fairmont taking on North Marion. Chapmanville is taking on Sissonville. In Single A, Wheeling Central taking on Williamstown. That has the looks of a fantastic game. Wheeling Central, the preseason number 1, Williamstown, and number 2, and Bridgeport out of Ohio taking on Madonna. Hedgesville back out as Owe Ash pump fakes to the left as he takes the shotgun snap, fires over the middle, and that one's going to be an incomplete pass. Throwing across his body, the intended receiver. It looks like was number 9, Sawyer Twig.
Yeah, very dangerous throw. Ash moving to his right, saw some pressure, looked back over the middle, thought he had an open man, and then could not get enough on that throw, throwing back over the middle.
And that is a dangerous throw, thrown across your body back over the middle of the field. Ball on the near side hash mark at the 26-yard line will bring up 2nd down and 10 for Hedgesville.
got Ash early on, 3 completions in 5 attempts for 42 yards, including a 5-yard touchdown pass going to Devin Heath.
3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side, as we'll have a timeout taken by Hedgesville. All right, let's go ahead and take a 1-minute break again as our 3rd timeout in the last 3 plays here at Marcus Field. 3:05 remaining here in the first quarter. 14-0 Hedgesville's lead over Washington. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're a part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Tomorrow. It's a day filled with promise and new beginnings, challenges and opportunities. At Ameriprise Financial, we can't predict what tomorrow will bring. But our comprehensive approach to financial planning can help make sure you're prepared for what's expected and even what's not. And that kind of financial confidence can help you sleep better at night. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant.
Well, on 2nd down and 10, it was a play-action pass. Ash rolling to his right and just short-armed Devin Heath a bit, spiking it right in front of him. He had Heath wide open in the flats, probably could have gained a few extra yards, but Ash left it just a bit short, bringing up 3rd and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, they're getting the timeouts, or play after the timeouts back underway very quickly.
Ash now takes it again, rolling to his right. Nowhere to go with it. He pauses, almost swallowed up. Now going to reverse field back to the left. He's in the center of the field. Has a blocker right in front of him, trying to use him. And then swallowed up. A great open field tackle by number 35, Terrence Jones.
Yeah, very good pressure initially from Tyson Lincoln, who chased Ash all the way to that far side hash mark, and while he didn't make the tackle, he forced Ash out of the pocket back the opposite direction, and that gave plenty of time for Jones to run him down.
Ash running about 35 yards to gain 2 on that play. It'll bring up 4th and 8. And on comes the punting unit. A high snap. Luttrell has it. A kick with the left foot, a short one. And a fair catch hauled in inside Hedgesville territory at the 48-yard line. We'll say again, Terrence Jones. So a couple of back-to-back plays by Jones. It'll be Washington Patriot football in Hedgesville territory.
That punt only covers about 21 yards, so there was a great job by the Washington defense, now setting up the offense with great field position. Let's see if this Washington offense can take advantage, down by 2 scores.
The sun's starting to go down behind the trees. Apologize for the camera view if you're watching on TV 10. Nothing we can really do about that glare at the top of the screen. John, you're doing a great job up there. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line for Washington. That wing back to the left now. That's Frankie Amorio. Take it to the left, has to backpedal a few steps. Breaks out to the left side, will gain about 2 on the play before being pushed out of bounds. Maybe only about 1.5 yards. He's up to the 45-yard line, but nothing more. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
Another nice job by Hedgesville to be able to string that play out. Amore moving to his left with that wide side of the field, kept looking for that lane to cut, couldn't find it, gave a little bit of that stiff leg to try to get the defense to stop or slow down, and then dart again, and was only able to pick up 2.
Amore and Ike Spangler coming off the field. So it's like Tommy Wogan going to go back out as the primary quarterback. Again, the wing to his left is Terrence Jones. There's the snap, and Wogan's going to fake to the left and go to the right, but is immediately swallowed up, and he's going to lose about 3 on that play, going to bring up 3rd and 11.
Yeah, again, a tremendous job by Hedgesville up front, getting into the backfield and making that play behind the line of scrimmage, and that was the sophomore Braden Grove, 6'1", 275, the D lineman, breaking that one up.
Braden Grove, 6'1", 275, not bad for a sophomore. A lot of upside in his game. Brings up 3rd and a long 10 for Washington at the 47-yard line in Hedgesville territory. Waiting for the snap. Who has it? It is going to be Amore, as he finds a receiver deep up the field at number 14, Cody Grove, who is inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. First down, Washington.
Oh, you were waiting for that to happen in this single wing. You draw that defense up. They're expecting that run. You'd give a little play action, and a nice job by Grove to get in behind the defense. He came from the left side of the formation, waggled across here to this right side, got behind the defense, and made the catch.
Good job by Frankie Amore on that one. He faked that run to the right side, then held up right at the last minute, and not quite a jump throw, but pretty close.
About 30 yards on the game.
They give the play action once to Jace Bradbury. He'll pound up the middle and get close to that 10-yard line. A good run on first down by Jace Bradbury, who is really playing more of the fullback role here in this formation. He's usually lining up right next to the quarterback, as that'll sound the end of the first quarter here from Marcus Stadium. Washington on the doorstep as they will reverse sides of the field. We'll see if they can punch it in and get this to a one-possession game when we come back. At the end of one, it's Hedgesville 14, Washington 0.
Today we're going to show you how easy it is to make restaurant quality soup in your own home. Step 1, grab a bag of any of the delicious flavors of soups at Johnny's. Step 2, put the soup in the pot and add water. Step 3, walk away. In about 45 minutes, restaurant quality soup for the entire family.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
From the 11-yard line, Washington trying to score their first touchdown of this game in the 2019 season. Jace Bradbury pounding away, and it was a good pass by Frankie Amore to Cody Grove. The biggest play so far of the game for the Washington Patriots. Hedgesville still owns a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0 as we begin the second quarter of action here in Charlestown.
Big possession. Washington needs to punch this one in, being this close to the goal line.
Tommy Wogan back in as the primary quarterback. He will take it himself. He's inside the 10, up to the 5, and still pounding in. He's into the end zone. It's a Washington Patriot touchdown.
You love the push from that front line. You're a former offensive lineman. You know what that's like when you can get a defender on his heels and you can just drive him off the football. And then a great job by the quarterback, Wogan, following those blocks and then powering his way in.
Yeah, especially in this formation. Ran a similar formation in high school, and there is no better feeling than having that hand on your back and knowing you are moving that defensive line. First touchdown of the season for the Washington Patriots. Drawing to within 8, could be 7, or make that 6, as it looks like they're going to go for 2. Wogan back out on the field with the Washington offense. And it looks like we're going to have a false start. Yeah, number 3, Ike Spangler, with that little twitch, and you could tell he knew he made a mistake. It wasn't a full-on move, and just that move of the right foot a little bit too much.
Just the first penalty for Washington. Hedgesville has had just 1 penalty as well, and for each team, it's been a false start or an illegal procedure.
And I believe that will bring on Griffin Price for the extra point. A little bit too far away for the 2-point conversion. We'll see what the right leg looks like of Price. He will kick it from the 15-yard line for this extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. Now a 7-point game, Washington within a touchdown. 11:53 left in the second quarter. We're going to take a break. It's Hedgesville 14, Washington 7.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Second quarter, Tommy Wogan on the touchdown from about 11 yards out. A great push by his offensive line. Washington within a touchdown now.
Matt, that capped a 5-play, 46-yard drive in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And there it is. The defense, as you said, had a long field to defend. They forced a punt, gave the offense good field position, and the offense had moved the ball in their first couple of possessions. Bad snaps had hurt them. This time they punched it in.
That scoring drive brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance. I got in a little squib onside kick. Doesn't quite get 10 yards, but touched by a front man of Hedgesville, and it looks like the Patriots have recovered. They will go back on offense. Number 18, Ethan Cockrell, coming up with the onside kick recovery.
Yeah, that tough play, that ball squibbing, bouncing around. It's got points on it, doesn't roll like a basketball or a soccer ball. And it looked like the young man for Hedgesville had a chance to bring it in. That was Jay-Sean Presley, but it bounced right in and out of his hands. And now Washington has the momentum and the football.
And it'll be in Hedgesville territory, the 46-yard line going in for Washington. See if they can use the momentum from that. And not only the onside kick recovery, but from the touchdown. Try to tie this game up at 14, 11:47 remaining in the second quarter here. Still a lot of football left to play.
Ironically enough, they started the last scoring drive right at this same position, the 46 of Hedgesville going in.
Hard count now, Wogan with it. He will fake to the right, move to the left. He's got a couple blockers. He's up inside the 40, to the 35, still stumbling forward up to the 34-yard line before he's taken down. It's a first down, Washington. Great play, Tommy Wogan, who refuses to go down.
On that offensive line, giving him just enough of a seam, and I tell you, Wogan really showing his athleticism, being able to weave, dodge, get through those small holes, and then break some tackles to pick up big yards.
It's the line from dodgeball, duck, dive, dip, dodge, and dodged.
12 more yards on that carry. I've got him up to 31 yards now on 5 carries.
There's a snap to Frankie Amore. He will break out to the right side. He's got a seam to the right side up to the 25-yard line. And only about 3 yards short of that first down marker. Good run by Frankie Amore. Tucking it immediately and breaking towards that far sideline.
Gain good for about 7, so a 2nd and 3 coming, and you like the way this offense is moving. They run a play up the gut, help to suck that defense in, then they give it to a guy like Amore who's a little bit quicker and work around the outside. You keep stretching that defense out and then bringing them back.
Under 11 minutes on a running clock here in the second quarter. 2nd and 4 from the 28-yard line. Washington with the football. Jace Bradbury takes a snap. He'll work to the right side. Keep pounding forward. He'll gain about a yard on the play. Again, these runners so far for Washington refusing to go down on first contact. As that's going to be a gain of about a half yard only, as that the down marker didn't move much.
Yeah, Drake Heath out there able to keep the runner in front of him and get a little help, and eventually Heath makes that tackle. They put it right back at the 27, so you're right, no gain, 3rd down and about 3.
3rd and 3 coming up, and if you're Washington, you'd love to get another first down here, at least take a little more time off the clock. With this offense, that's your bread and butter, is milking the clock and controlling the clock. Hard count again. There's a snap to Wogan. He's going to go right up the middle. He's got the first down and more. Breaks the tackle out to the right side. He's at the 10, the 5. He stumbles into the end zone for a Washington Patriot touchdown, and a late flag. Going to be a late hit on one of the secondary members for Hedgesville, making late contact as Wogan was already about 5 yards into the end zone.
Gerald Jones out there making a diving effort to try to clip the feet of the back, but could not get to him. That's why he stumbled at about that 5-yard line, but maintained his footing, and Wogan is in.
Penalty will most likely be enforced on that ensuing kickoff. But Wogan, once again, showing the will not to hit the turf and breaking tackles and showing the speed to the outside. Good footwork to stay upright. As Washington just a extra point away from tying it, but they're going to try to take the lead here with a 2-point conversion. Like Spangler, Jace Bradbury in the backfield. Hard count, it'll go to Bradbury right at the middle, pounding forward, and it looks like he will be stopped just short as we get the signal from the far official. He is stopped right at the goal line, and Hedgesville will hold on to a 1-point lead. Back-to-back touchdown drives for Washington. We'll tell you about it when we come back. Just a 1-point game. Hedgesville 14, Washington 13. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Following the unnecessary roughness penalty on Tommy Wogan, or against Tommy Wogan following the touchdown, Washington will be kicking off inside Hedgesville territory at the 45. So a chance for a touchback here if Griffin Price can put a good right leg into it.
Or watch out for another onside kick, because you'll still get your defense plenty of field to defend.
We'll see what happens here as Price has that right arm up and ready to approach the football, taking a few steps, and this one's going to go deep, and it will go into the end zone and get over the head, just bouncing in the infield part of the end zone, but then goes out for a touchback over the head of Drake Heath. It'll be a touchback, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
How about the drive for Washington after recovering the onside kick? 4 plays, 46 yards, 1 minute and 54 seconds, 27 yards on that touchdown run for Wogan. By the way, he's up to 6 carries, 58 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns.
That scoring drive summary brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361. The offense for the Hedgesville Eagles back out on the field. 2 receivers to each side, stacked one on top of each other. There's the give up the middle on 1st down to Sawyer Twigg, who battles forward for about 6 on 1st and 10.
And Jimmy Williams getting a hold of him, but Sawyer Twigg would not go down. Dragged Williams ahead for about 5 more yards on that gain.
Rumbling right up the middle, and are we seeing a good ground game today or what, Matt?
Yeah, both of these teams are trying to establish that ground game, although Hedgesville's obviously done a lot more in their passing game.
2nd down and 3 now for the Eagles. They'll stay in the same formations. 2 receivers to each side, stacked one on top of the other. 1 running back as Zoe Ash takes a snap out of the shotgun. He'll pump fake and go deep down the left side. Going up forward is Devin Heath, and it goes in between his hands and falls to the turf. An incomplete pass. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. A great adjustment on the football by Devin Heath, just not able to bring it in.
Yeah, from our angle, I couldn't tell if he maybe just slightly mistimed that leap and the ball got on him a little more quickly than he expected, because it hit right in the hands. You could see his frustration that he didn't come down with it. Would have been a big gain down to the 40 of Washington.
9 minutes, 11 seconds on a stopped clock here in quarter number 2. 3rd down and 3 from their own 27-yard line for Hedgesville.
Big 3rd down for this Washington defense as well as the Hedgesville offense.
3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. There's a snap to Owe Ash. He will pump fake to the left and take it himself. He's got to run up the middle. He's got the 1st down. A flag coming in late in the area of a hold, but Owe Ash is going to get up to the 40-yard line, and momentarily a 1st down for Hedgesville, but a signal of a hold, and that is going to bring that play back and negate that 1st down play.
On where that penalty marker is thrown, it's pretty much right at the line of scrimmage, the 27-yard line. So that would move that football back to about the 17 and make it a 3rd down and 13. Costly penalty for Hedgesville, because that run had the 1st down and would have kept this drive alive.
And that flag thrown right in the area in which Owe Ash made that sharp right-hand cut after starting to the left. So if there's a hold there, a pretty easy call for the back judge.
3 penalties, 30 yards now unofficially against Hedgesville.
And will be a 10-yard penalty, 3rd and 13 at the 17-yard line. Now 3rd and long for Hedgesville. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Play action pass as Ash is going to roll to the right. He will tuck it and run. Evades 1 tackler, evades 2, but then will be taken down to the 25-yard line to bring up 4th and long. Good play by the Washington Patriot defense.
Oh, and how about Tommy Wogan? He does it on offense. He does it there on defense, as he was the one to really wrap up Owie Ash and help to bring him down after that gain of just about 9.
Don't see a punt unit on the field yet for Hedgesville, as Ash gained a little more on that than I thought he did. Getting up to the 26-yard line. That'll set up about 4th and 5 as now we get the adjustment. And J.R. Luttrell going to go back and punt it away as Hedgesville deep in their own territory.
Yeah, in this situation, you've got to bring the punter on.
There's the snap. There's the left-footed kick by J.R. Luttrell. Again, not a deep one. Muff punt right at the 50-yard line by number 35, Terrence Jones. He's able to dive on the ball that went right in front of him and actually gain about 5 on that punt return, but not the way you want to do it. Lucky to still have possession for Washington.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes you got to catch a break, and Washington caught one right there, but once again, the defense does its job. Hedgesville with a penalty hurts themselves, and now this Washington offense with some momentum has the football again with great field position.
And what is it about that 45, 46-yard line in Hedgesville territory? What is that, the last 3 possessions have been right in that general area?
Yep, 46, now 45.
Again, singling that wing to the far side. Frankie Amore has it as he will escape a tackler in the backfield, then go to throw, and that ball a little too low for Terrence Jones, who has to go off his hands on a ball that would have been a great catch if he could go back and get, but it falls to the turf. 2nd down and 10.
I'll give Amore credit just for escaping a tackle in the backfield and getting rid of that football, because that could have easily been a loss of about 7 yards, but he managed to get free, find an open man, but with all that pressure could not connect.
And that's something you need if you're going to play this style of offense. You need quarterbacks that can get away from that initial contact. It'll bring up 2nd and 10, still at the 45-yard line. Again, Terrence Jones to the right as that a single wing back. The snap goes to Tommy Wogan. He goes to the right side and will stumble forward for a gain of about 5 up to the 40-yard line, bring up 3rd down and 5 from the 40 in Hedgesville territory. The big 3rd down upcoming. You've talked about how big that last 3rd down was for Hedgesville, not only for their offense but for the defense of Washington. You could say the same about this 3rd down right here. Washington has the momentum. This would be a big stop for Hedgesville and another big momentum boost for Washington.
Well, and it could be 3rd and 4th down that Hedgesville may have to stop. I mean, if you're Glenn Simpson, the way this offense has moved the football, as solid as your defense has played, especially with a long field to defend, if you get close, you may go for it here.
Yeah, I don't think you're voluntarily giving the ball back to Hedgesville at this part of the field. Here comes 3rd and 5 from the 47-44 left on the clock. There is a snap. Logan with it, going to the left side. Ball is loose and recovered by Hedgesville. Looked like Gerald Jones came up with the fumble recovery. And it'll be Hedgesville Eagle football as they will have it at the 33-yard line in their own territory, and a costly turnover for Tommy Wogan, who so far in this game has done nothing but good things.
Yeah, just made that spin move and had it slip out. Did you say again who got it for Hedgesville? I did not.
I thought it looked like a Gerald Jones. I thought it looked like a number 2.
So
there was a couple of the jerseys diving in there at the end, but I believe the initial person coming up with it was Gerald Jones.
That's turnover number 3 for Washington in this first half, and yet it's still just a 1-point game.
Hedgesville will start this possession at the 33-yard line in their own territory. 7:36 on that 2nd quarter clock. 2 receivers to each side. Owie Ash and the give up the middle to Nathan Albright. He will try to bounce it out, and he loses the football, and a scrum down underneath for it, and a red jersey is going to come up with it, Washington Patriot football. I thought Albright may have been ruled down as he was very close to being on the turf as he tried to bounce it to the outside, the far side of the field, and just can't hold on to it. It'll be Washington Patriot football with great field position.
Yeah, it looked like Jimmy Williams, number 40, able to dive on that loose football, and that defense comes up with yet another big play. Been impressed with what Washington has done defensively.
1st down and 10 at the 23-yard line. Washington on the doorstep once again.
That's why. I'll make you go down.
Terrence Jones, that single wing to the far side. standing at about the 25-yard line. There's the snap to Jace Bradbury. He's going to take it himself to the right side, get inside the 20 down to about the 18, maybe the 17-yard line, and a good first down gain for Washington.
Well, again, they bring Terrence Jones as kind of like a wing back, if you will, off that right side. He comes back in motion to the left, and a chance there where Bradbury can fake that give and then keep it going the opposite direction. So it's what you see in this single wing. What a lot of misdirection.
Exactly, and you just got to get the defense to hesitate for that split second, and that's when you break the big ones. Terrence Jones will move over to the near side as that single wing back. As we have a penalty flag thrown on the field.
Looks to me like someone may have lined up in the neutral zone, or maybe something to do with equipment, as that one came from the near sideline.
Two officials keying together to talk about it. Offside, neutral zone infraction, as that is going to make it a 2nd and 1. So it goes from 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 1, and the penalties beginning to become an issue for Hedgesville.
That's 4 penalties for 35 yards now against Hedgesville, and the problem is they've come at some pretty key times that have either halted one of their own possessions, or in this case, helps out Washington. Instead of a 2nd and 6, now 2nd and 1.
Inside the 15-yard line at the 14. We'll bring up this 2nd and 1, 6:39 on a running second quarter clock here at Marcus Field. Wing back to the right. Offensive line that comes to a set. Frankie Amore with it. He will go to the right. A good block on the outside. He's now inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line before he is pushed out of bounds. And it'll be a fresh set of downs for Washington. A good job once again by Frankie Amore avoiding that first tackler.
Oh, and he got some help there by Bradbury, because Bradbury gave a little bit of a block, or at least shielded that defender away, and gave Amore that cut lane to his right.
They got to seal the edge. And I believe we had a timeout on the field.
7 yards on that last gain.
Didn't see the indication as to who the timeout was taken by, but let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. Again, a 30-second break, then we'll come back. 1st and 7 at the 7-yard line. 6:21 remaining here in the second quarter of 14-13, the Hedgesville lead over. 6:21 remaining in the first half. Hedgesville still clinging on to a 1-point lead, but Washington, for the third time in 4 drives, is trying to find the end zone. This side of the field has worked wonders for them so far since switching the sides of the field here in the second quarter.
Yeah, there it is, a tale of 2 quarters. 14 points in the first for Hedgesville, 13 in the second for the Patriots.
There is the snap to Tommy Wogan. He pushes forward, the offensive line pushing him inside the 5 down to what looks like the 2-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2.
Wogan that time took the snap, kind of hesitated in the backfield, and then I guess saw where that defense was going, and then began to push his way forward.
Under 6 minutes on the game clock. 5:53 and counting. Washington looking to take the lead for the first time in this ball game. Logan at the quarterback position. Looks like Spangler to his right. Jones that wing to the right. Logan going to take the snap, power forward, and he's into the end zone for a Washington Patriot touchdown. Washington takes the lead for the first time in this ball game at 19-14, and the crowd here showing their support.
Tell you got to give it to this front line for Washington. They have done a very good job controlling that line of scrimmage, pushing Hedgesville off of the football and giving their backs the space to be able to maneuver and, in this case, get into the end zone.
Looks like Washington is going to elect to try to make this a 7-point game and take the 1-touchdown lead with 5:31 remaining here in the first half. The offense breaks the huddle. Jace Bradbury in the backfield with Tommy Wogan. Low snap, Wogan picks it up and is swallowed up immediately. There's an 11 in there for Devin Heath and several members of that Hedgesville defense, and that 2-point conversion no good. With 5:31 remaining in the second quarter, let's go ahead and take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the remainder of the second quarter. It's Washington 19, Hedgesville 14. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
No reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
He has more years experienced on video of football than you've been alive.
I know. And modest too, John. Price on for the kickoff following the touchdown for Washington. Another Tommy Wogan touchdown. Again, a short squib kick that's going to bounce out of bounds. Another short kick attempt. I think probably kicked a little harder than he would have liked to. That one going out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. So not going to be a whole lot of difference in field position one way or another. So if you're going to get one out of bounds, that's about the area of the field you're going to want to do it.
And that will be, as I'm looking back through my stat sheet for Washington, just their second penalty, now penalized 2 times for 10 yards.
And that is something that has changed drastically since last year. I don't know if you remember this game that we broadcast last year to start the season, but I think there was a total of about 12 penalties in the first half, and so far a very cleanly played ball game, and hats off to Washington so far. Again, putting in a new offense, and have played it very well for this being the first game action that they've used it in.
Yeah, and they got off to a little bit of a slow start with those high snaps, but the center has done a great job in being able to bring that back under control.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line in their own territory for Hedgesville. Ash gets it a quick screen out to the left side and overthrows Devin Heath.
A tough throw. That's the wide receiver screen to the wide side of the field, and that means that football's in the air for probably about 25 or more yards, and just got a little bit too much on it. Overshoots Heath.
And it looked like both Ash and Heath hesitated for a split second, as Ash kind of hesitated planting that left foot before he threw, which I think threw Devin Heath off a bit as well, going out to that far side. Bring up 2nd down and 10 again from the 39-yard line. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. One running back in the backfield. Ash drops back, is going to roll out to the left. Again, going for Devin Heath, who will make a fantastic one-handed catch for a gain of about 4. What a catch with the right hand of Devin Heath.
He almost made a one-handed grab on a dive early on in this football game, had it on the palm of his hand, but lost it when he hit the ground. This one he was able to hang on to. It's out at the 43, so the gain's still good for about 4 yards, so 3rd down, and we'll call it 6.
As we're under 5 now, 4:57 and counting here in the first half, so Hedgesville doesn't have to move quickly, but do have to use a bit of urgency. There's the play-action pass as Ash is going to roll to the right, throw near side to us. Devin Heath with it again. He's up across midfield into Washington Patriot territory up to the 47-yard line, and that's good enough for a 1st down, Eagles.
It's been a while since they've had a 1st down. In fact, just their 4th 1st down in this first half, and now 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions.
And Matt, our buddy Gene, showing the patriotic support, running the American flag up the track here at Marcus Field. One of our biggest fans and one of the best guys for Panhandle sports to be around.
Absolutely. 9 yards on that pass play on the 3rd down and 6. That was very well conceived. Outside receiver ran off the defense, and then you had Heath cut in behind in that open area.
3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Ash drops back to pass. He's going to roll to the right. He's going to have to tuck it and run up to the 45. Inside the 45 to the 37, 36-yard line as he dives forward and is brought down. So he gets a little over half on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 4 at the 42-yard line.
He's showing some grittiness there at the end of that run as he took a couple of licks.
Sawyer Twigg will be the running back in the backfield for Hedgesville next to Ash. He'll be to the near side with 3 receivers to the far side. J.R. Luttrell, the lone receiver, right in front of that Washington bench. Quick play-action pass. Ash going to have to duck it and run. He is swallowed up and avoids another tackle, but is finally taken down by Jace Bradbury, who filled the hole at the last second. And that's going to go down as a sack for the Washington defense.
Yeah, it was great pressure up inside as he wanted to throw that screen to the far side, but it looks like the injured lineman, Jonathan Lavely, coming off, was the one who got into that backfield, kind of forced Ash to pull the ball back down and run.
Loss of 2 on the play, back to the 44-yard line to bring up a 3rd and 6. 3 receivers to the far side. Ash drops back to pass, pump fake, loses the football, and is going to fall on it. That's going to be a loss of 6, maybe more, and bring up 4th down. He went for the pump fake, and the ball just popped out. Something I've noticed early on here in this ball game is when Ash drops back to pass, he kind of rotates the ball in his hand till he gets the feel he wants, and I think that was a case where didn't have the right grip he wanted on the football to make that pump fake. You could tell it was going to be an attempted receiver screen or an out and up to that far side, but never got the chance to develop. Just has to fall on it.
And right now, the offense staying out there, looking to that far sideline, and I think you may get a timeout. They're going to let that play clock continue to wind down.
As we're at 2:20, it'll get down to 2:19 before the whistle blows. And Hedgesville will use a timeout. I believe that is their last timeout of this first half. We would still have Washington with 1. So with 2:19 left here in the first half, Hedgesville will most likely punt it away with the timeout on the field. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. We'll have the punt in the remainder of the second quarter when we come back. It's Washington 19, Hedgesville 14. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
J.R. Luttrell out to punt it away, the lefty, with his 4th punt of this ball game. 2:19 on the clock. There is the snap back to Luttrell, and he does get away his best punt of the day, a fair catch signaled for and hauled in by Terrence Jones. And that's going to be at about the 26-27-yard line, where Washington will have 2:13 remaining in the first half to try to get in the end zone. And Matt, how big would that be? They do get the kickoff to start the second half.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've got some momentum that they've built up here in this second quarter, and then they get the football. So this drive going to be crucial. That punt good for just 24 yards, and so all in all, not bad field position.
19-14, the Patriot lead over Hedgesville. 2:13. Ball at the 28-yard line in Washington territory. And we have a flag on the play. Not sure if we're going to get another neutral zone infraction or if that was a illegal formation.
It looked like both the linesman and the line judge seeing the same thing as they reached into the pocket and threw that flag.
And that's going to be a neutral zone infraction, the second one in as many series. And once again, the first time we saw that last series, it took a 2nd and 6 to a 2nd and 1. This one taking a 1st and 10 to a 1st and 5.
And now 5 penalties, 40 yards whistled against the Eagles.
More just a straight shotgun look, spread offense with 1 wing back, 2 receivers to the far side, 1 coming in motion now. Frankie Amore going to keep it and get sacked in the backfield back at the 25-yard line. Good read by a lineman for Hedgesville, trying to get enough.
That's a linebacker. That's Devin Heath.
Devin Heath, number 11 on that tackle. Great read following the football. Didn't bite on the play action to Terrence Jones. Did a good job staying with Frankie Amore, who tried to bounce it to the outside, but just not enough room and not enough quickness as Devin Heath was coming downhill. As that clock will run, and not sure there's going to be some urgency here for Coach Simpson. A long way to go as that sack bring the ball back to the 25-yard line. 2nd and 12 as we are under 1:30 to play here in the first half.
Yeah, right now you got a 19-14 lead after trailing in that opening quarter 14-0. You don't want to make a mistake here. You're willing to go into the locker room with that lead as it is.
And Washington will burn their final timeout, as I think there was some confusion. Quarterback Tommy Wogan looked like he signaled for a timeout and didn't hear a whistle, so Glenn Simpson takes it for him. We're going to keep it right here. Only 1:14 left before halftime. Halftime, we will give you a scoring recap of this one. Try to figure out some scores from around the Mountain State, some other games going on tonight. Matt, let's real quick talk about the 2 games that were Monday. The first game in AA, Riverview beating Montcalm 36-6. And Riverview will come back out and play tomorrow night as well.
That's the reason they played on Monday. It was the first available day, as this is officially the week that the season could begin, so they played on Monday. In Single A, West Green, Pennsylvania did the same thing. They beat Cameron, and West Green will play tomorrow as well up in Pennsylvania, so a couple of teams playing 2 games in 1 week.
And so Riverview going in with a 1-0 record into Friday night. Not something you see all that often. You see the earlier games every now and again, but not 2 in 1 week this early in the season. Washington back out on the field following the timeout. Frankie Amore will take it to the direct snap. He's got room at the middle. He will get over the 30-yard line up to about the 33 on 2nd and 12. Will gain about half of what he needed, maybe a little bit more, and we'll have an injury on the field. Looks like one of the linemen down. Trying to get a number. That's actually Tommy Wogan.
Yeah.
Looks like an
77 yards and 2 touchdowns in this first half. That would be a big loss if he is not able to come back.
Hopefully can tape that up, and good news is halftime just 101 away. Has some time to prop that leg up again, hopefully get it taped and see if he can come back after the second half. You mentioned that would be a huge loss for Washington. Clock is running. Under a minute now, 55 seconds and counting. 3rd down and 5 coming up from the 33-yard line. Washington in their own territory. 10 seconds left on that play clock, 45 on the game clock. Hard count as Bradbury has it. He will try to power up that right side on the far hash mark, and he will gain just about a yard. It'll bring up 4th down and 4. And with the play clock resetting, they won't even need to punt. 30 seconds now on the play clock, just 24 on that game clock, and the clock can now run going into halftime. Washington will take a 5-point lead into the half, 19-14, 19 unanswered points here in this second quarter after Hedgesville took a 14-0 lead in quarter number 2. And if the second half is anything like the first half, we are in for a phenomenal 3rd and 4th quarter of football coming up. The clock has hit 0. We will go into halftime again. It's Washington 19, Hedgesville 14. Recap of the first half, some scores from around the Mountain State, and our analysis coming up in the halftime show. We'll be right back after this break. It's Washington 19, Hedgesville 14. We're at the half. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources.
Certainly has helped take us to another level.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Let's go! It's time for today's halftime show. We'll recap the scoring, bring you first half stats and analysis, and check in on the action around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State with the out-of-town scoreboard. So let's return to the field and get things started with our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome into the halftime show. 19-14, the Washington lead over the visiting Hedgesville Eagles. The halftime show brought to you by Joe Ferretti Law Office, delivering first-rate service and results for our clients. Vehicle accidents, slip and fall, medical malpractice. Call Joe Ferretti Law Office at 304-596-8854. This has been a tale of two quarters so far. It was all Hedgesville in the first quarter. They jumped out to the 14-0 lead. A big pass by Gerald Jones, a turnover for Washington, giving Hedgesville the ball inside the 10-yard line, allowing Hedgesville to jump out to that 14-0 lead. And that second quarter, 19 unanswered for the Washington Patriots, and that is where we are now. A scoring recap coming right now from Matt Miller.
Well, it was the second possession for Hedgesville after a turnover for the Washington Patriots on a high snap on a punt attempt. It gave Hedgesville the chance to work their way towards the goal line. A 5-play, 45-yard, 2-minute drive, a 1-yard touchdown plunge for Owie Ash. After another bad snap that went over the head of the punter, Hedgesville needed only 47 seconds to cover 10 yards in 2 plays. They got the 5-yard touchdown pass from Ash to Devin Heath. They missed a 2-point conversion the first time, got the 2-point conversion on an Owie Ash run the second time, and so Hedgesville led 14-0 going into that second quarter. Washington, frankly, had moved the ball on a couple of possessions. It was the bad snaps that really did them in. They were able to make the corrections, and in that second quarter, in fact, just 7 seconds into that second quarter, it was Washington getting on the board with a 5-play, 46-yard drive in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Had the short field because the defense did its job. They got a short punt, set up the offense, and they took advantage of that was the 11-yard touchdown run going for Tommy Wogan on the very next possession after recovering an onside kick. Wogan went in from 27 yards out. That capped a 4-play, 46-yard drive in 1 minute and 54 seconds. The extra point good after the first TD, but Coach Glenn Simpson decided let's go for 2 in the lead instead of the tie. Didn't get it, and Hedgesville still led 14-13, but with 5:31 to play in the first half following a fumble recovery. Washington needed just 4 plays to cover 23 yards in 1 minute and 57 seconds. 2 yards, the touchdown run for Tommy Wogan. 2-point conversion again fails. Washington with the lead, but they've left some points out there. We're at the half, and Washington is in front of Hedgesville 19-14.
That is the scoring recap from the first half. Again, this halftime show brought to you by Joe Ferretti Law Office. We are going to take another 1-minute break and make that a 2-minute break. When we come back, we will have some first half analysis, see what Matt and I are thinking about how that first half was played. A great ball game so far. Again, we'll be back in 2 minutes. You're at halftime here at Marcus Field. It's Washington 19, Hedgesville 14.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
What a great job by the coaching staff to keep the guys engaged, to keep telling them, hey, you've moved the football. Let's stop making mistakes and see what happens. And they've been able to do just that. In that second quarter, didn't have the turnovers. I've only had 2 penalties the entire first half, and that offense, as you said, has moved the football very well. Give the big guys up front some credit. They've blocked well.
And the one thing I think, if you're looking at Hedgesville offensively, defensively played a pretty sound football game for the amount of time they've spent on the field, and that's not a tough offense to face. When you're facing that single wing, it's smash mouth, if I can get that out. Let's go with that one. Football in the trenches. I think they're doing a pretty good job other than a couple of plays. But offensively for Hedgesville, I'm looking at Owe Ash, and other than the one long throw to Gerald Jones, he just hasn't had that touch on the ball. Devin Heath having to make a miraculous one-handed catch, and he's got to settle down a little bit, set his feet in the pocket. He's just looked a little antsy for a guy with experience. I know it's the first game of the season, but plenty of time last year to get your feet wet on the varsity level. He's got to calm down a little bit and come back out and have a more settled down second half.
Yeah, he's completed 50% of his passes in this first half, 5 for 10, and one of those, that spectacular one-handed catch by Devin Heath. He had thrown 4 consecutive incompletions before Heath made that great catch to help bail out his quarterback, and Heath has been his main target. Of the 5 completions, Devin has caught 4 of them.
All right, we're going to take another 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll give you the scoring updates from the games around the Mountain State tonight. Only a couple of them. We'll tell you how those are going next in the postgame show. Again, at the half, it's Washington 19, Hedgesville 14.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131. Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
My longtime client Mark asked me to help his daughter. Abby took a job in Chicago and wanted financial advice. We talked about her goals and set up a savings strategy so she can enjoy life now and start planning for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to working with Abby and helping her reach her goals, like I've been doing with her dad for years. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Welcome back into the Joe Freddy Law Office halftime show. Time to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. No EPAC games to report about tonight. Again, tomorrow night it'll be H.D. Woodson coming to Coburn Field, taking on the Martinsburg Bulldogs in their quest for a 4th straight AAA state championship for the 2nd time in program history. It'll be Spring Mills taking on Musselman, and it'll be Millbrook taking on Jefferson. The only other AAA game going on tonight is GW taking on South Charleston. Matt, at the half, it is South Charleston up 14-0. Any surprise in that?
Not necessarily. George Washington had a little bit of a tough go of it last year, and so a little bit of a slow start in this one. But again, it's a rivalry type of matchup. Anything can happen in that second half.
Let's go to AA, where a couple of games tonight. East Fairmont taking on Marion. Still looking for a score there. It's North Marion up 7-0 over East Fairmont. That game in the second quarter. And it's Chapmanville taking on Sissonville, and no scoring update from that one. Moving down to single A in the what could be game of the season in single A football. Number 1 Wheeling Central taking on number 2 Williamstown. Get this, Matt. Wheeling Central up 28-6 in the second quarter of that one.
Wow, fast start in that ball game.
And it's Madonna taking on Bridgeport out of Ohio. No scoring update from that one. So that is your look at what's going on around the Mountain State on the first night of football for this 2019 football season. One more break to take. When we come back, it'll be first half stats, and we'll have the second half kickoff for you after this 2-minute break. We're at the half. It's 19-14 Washington over Hedgesville.
It's time to go away. Time to celebrate. It's time to go.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
Welcome back into the halftime show. Under a minute now, but believe the halftime will be extended considering the Washington Patriot Marching Band still on the field and the Washington football team has yet to come back on the field. So it gives us time to take a look at our first half stats, brought to you by Dobson & Associates, a PLLC at 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. From business startup and planning to business and individual tax planning, Dobson & Associates can help you each step of the way. Find out more by calling 304-264-0437. Where do you want to start, Matt? Washington or Hedgesville?
Well, let's start with the visitors. The Hedgesville Eagles, who got off to that fast start, took the early 14-0 lead heading into quarter number 2. They had 7 possessions in the first half, punted the football 4 times, turned it over once on a fumble, and scored a pair of touchdowns. Owie Ash, a 1-yard touchdown run, and then a 5-yard touchdown pass from Ash to Devin Heath. They did have 2 total turnovers in that first half as Washington recovered an onside kick. Just 4 Hedgesville first downs. They were penalized 5 times for 40 yards, and a couple of those were very costly penalties. In all, Hedgesville ran 23 plays for 78 yards, just 23 rushing yards, 55 passing yards. Hedgesville went 2 of 6 on third down conversions. Individual numbers look like this. Owie Ash, 5 of 10 passing for 55 yards. His top target, Devin Heath, 4 catches, 18 yards and a touchdown. A grab for 37 yards for Gerald Jones. Running the football, 3 carries for 13 yards yards for Sawyer Twigg, 2 carries, -5 yards for Nathan Albright, and then 8 carries for 15 yards for Owie Ash. Turning now to the homestanding Washington Patriots in the first half. We had them with 8 possessions in that opening quarter, did not score, put 3 touchdowns on the board in quarter number 2. They also turned it over in the first half 3 times. They punted once and took the football into the locker room at the half. They had 8 first downs, committed just 2 penalties for 10 yards. They were 2 of 6 on third down conversions. As we turn our attention to the team totals, 28 plays for 126 total yards, 96 rushing and 30 passing. Individually, the only passing coming from Frankie Amore, who went 1 of 2 for 30 yards, and that lone completion went to Cody Grove. Carrying the football, how about 10 carries, 77 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns in that first half for Tommy Wogan. Hopefully he's back out there. Remember, went down with what looked like an ankle injury late in the first half. 7 carries, 25 yards for Frankie Amore. 7 carries, 47 yards for Jace Bradbury. A carry for -3 yards for Terrence Jones. And because of a couple of high snaps, 2 carries, -50 yards. They go down as team carries, not credited to anyone in particular because of the bad snap.
First half stats brought to you by Dobson & Associates PLLC, providing accounting, payroll, bill pay, HR, and IT services to help your business succeed. Learn more by calling 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. The Washington Captains going back out to midfield. They did put a couple more minutes back on that halftime clock. Back under a minute now, 25 seconds and counting. It'll be the Washington Patriots getting the football to start the second half of action. And if the first half or the second half is anything like the first half, we're in for a whale of a football game.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see who wins quarter number 3. After Hedgesville took that opening quarter, Washington took quarter number 2. The Patriots get the football to start this second half. We'll see if they can keep the momentum that they had in that second quarter.
Yeah, you and I were talking when they got the football back with just over 2 minutes to go in that first half. If they could put at least a good drive together, didn't need to score a touchdown, but put a good drive together, keep that momentum. Didn't move the ball more than about 6 yards on that possession, but it didn't allow Hedgesville to get in the end zone or get the football back. So they will have the 5-point lead as 12 minutes have been put back on the clock here in the third quarter of action.
I'm imagining if you're Coach Glenn Simpson and your staff, you've got to kind of talk to this team about staying focused here in this second half. This is an exciting opportunity. We mentioned it in the pregame show. Coach Simpson all last year talked about making deposits, and now hopefully this year being able to make some withdrawals on those tough experiences last year that resulted in an 0-10 season. To come out here and get a victory in this one to open the season would be huge, and you got to imagine these kids are feeling very good right now, but got to keep it going for another 24 minutes.
Frankie Amore and Terrence Jones to our right to receive the second half kickoff. Washington will move from right to left as we look at it on your TV screen. If you're listening the old-fashioned way on AM 740 or FM 106.5, we still appreciate you. They've been moving right to left across your radio dial. Number 24, or make that number 14, J.R. Luttrell, have to kick it off for the Hedgesville Eagles. And again, you just hope that Tommy Wogan is okay. A great first half, and you hate to see that late in the game as he is out on the sideline.
He's doing a little high stepping on that sideline, just trying to stretch things out.
There's a kickoff by Luttrell, squib up to the 40-yard line, falling on it again, losing the football. But able to come up with it. Looked like a 53.
Now, that looks like maybe a 19 as opposed to an 18. Austin Sharp may have been the one.
Either way, Washington retain possession. Have football at the 35-yard line in their own territory. And going back out is Wogan. So good news for the Patriots. He's going to start this second half at quarterback. A great first half for Washington. First and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Again, working to our left. Majority of the field to go. And play has started. A wing back to each side. It is Jones in motion. It is the sweep to Jones. He has to cut back up to the middle of the field. Avoids one tackle, avoids two. And he will get something out of nothing, gaining about 1.5 yards. on that one. Will still bring up about a 2nd and 9. But he took a 3-yard loss and made it a gain of 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Matt, to be honest with you. I think if he continues on around that end and allows those guys in front of him to shield off those defenders, he may have easily gotten the same amount. He seemed to see a little bit of a cutback lane to his right and took it and didn't get much.
Our second half kickoff was a service of Bears Repair at 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg for all your automotive repair needs. Call the certified mechanics at Bears Repair. Phone 304-262-0208. Wing to the far side is Jones. 2 backs in the backfield. Frankie Amore gets a snap. He'll go to the right side. He has an edge. He's across midfield inside Hedgesville Eagle territory out at about the 48-yard line. We have a flag on the far side in the area of a late hit.
A good job by Amore, able to turn that corner, a little bit of a hesitation move, and then able to get to the sideline.
And that is going to be a late hit, the second one of this ball game. That's something when you're down in the ball game and you're Hedgesville, you don't need to add on to what was already a great run for a first down by Frankie Amore.
6 penalties, 55 yards now for Hedgesville.
That'll move the ball up to the 35-yard line. Patriots 1st and 10 in Hedgesville territory.
So that gain was good for about 14 yards on the carry from Amore, and then the penalty gets marked off from there.
Amore staying in a quarterback, Jace Bradbury to his right, and Terrence Jones the far side wing. He will come in motion. Bradbury with it. He's going to go right up the gut, right up that far hash mark, and he'll stumble forward for a gain of about 4. That'll bring up 2nd and 6.
And again, that offensive line doing a nice job creating some openings and giving those backs a chance to find that opening and get what they can.
Going to mark that as a long 3 on the gain, 2nd and 7. Upcoming 10-17 and counting here in quarter number 3. Awesome thing about this single wing and the tight formation on offense is every big run we've seen so far just comes out of nowhere. All you need is a little sliver of light. Jones, the wing back on the near side. Frankie Amore with it. He's going to go back. He's going to go back to pass. Has reverse field going deep and just beyond the reach of his receiver, who went down with what looked like a leg cramp immediately after he made that catch, although with the way he's agonizing, maybe a little bit more.
I think it may just be a cramp. That's Cody Grove,
number 14.
Yeah, he had that big 30-yard reception in the first half and was open for a moment. You got to give that Hedgesville front some credit. They got to the backfield and forced Frankie Amore to have to go a little deeper than he wanted to avoid that rush. And by the time he could get around that rush, set his feet and throw downfield, it gave a defender a chance to get down there and ultimately resulted in an overthrown ball.
Yeah, so Cody Grove getting that right leg stretched out, looked like a high calf cramp, immediately just fell to the turf after that ball was just overthrown by about a half a yard. So while they attend to Grove on the field, let's go ahead and take a 30-second break, and then we'll come back 9:54 rather, remaining in the third quarter of action. Washington still the 5-point lead, 19-14 over Hedgesville.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Still working on Cody Grove at about the 3-yard line. Just trying to stretch out that right calf. And definitely looks like a cramp as they have continued to stretch out that ankle.
Yeah, it is a warm evening. We were in the low 80s as we got the evening started, and down there on the turf probably a little bit warmer, and this is where that conditioning comes into play. We even heard Coach David Walker in our Miller Time segment earlier today say, he wasn't overly sure exactly how well conditioned that his team is at this stage.
Both teams kneeling on the field. Again, don't believe this is a serious injury, just trying to stretch out that right leg. So don't let if you're just tuning in or missed the injury itself. Don't think that it's a very serious injury, at least from our vantage point, and the way they're working on it. Just they're taking their time trying to stretch it out. As also getting stretched out is Tommy Wogan right in front of us, because he's still battling that injury a little bit, as Cody Grove is up on his feet and now working his way back to the Washington Patriots sideline. It'll be 3rd and 7 upcoming at the 32-yard line.
Grove, one of those two-way players. He's a defensive back on that side of the football, along with being a tight end / wide out wingback type of guy on this offensive side. So I'm sure they'd like to get him back in as quickly as they can.
3rd and 7 upcoming for the Washington Patriots. Looks like Wogan's still on the sideline, so I believe it's going to be Frankie Amore back out at quarterback.
Amore's thrown the only 3 pass attempts so far for Washington.
That lone wing to the far side. There is Jace Bradbury with the give right up the middle, and he's going to battle forward and get close to that first down marker, but I believe he's going to be about a yard short, bringing up a interesting decision for Coach Glenn Simpson, but I think you got to be in 4-down territory here. I'm not even sure how hard of a decision it really is.
I was going to say, it's not. You are going for it here, and you may run something very similar. Bradbury with another nice run, and again, a good push from those guys up front.
Only got up to the 32-yard line, so going to be a 4th and 2, but not sure that changes the decision-making at all. Still a 4th and short here for Washington.
27-yard line, actually. Hard to see from our angle.
Inside the 20, 27-yard line. Here comes 4th and 2, 8:55 and counting here in quarter number 3. Give right up the middle, and that's going to be enough for a first down. I believe that was a give to Frankie Amore. He's going to dive up the middle and get a first down. Actually make that Jace Bradbury getting that direct handoff or the direct snap. And he does what any good fullback will do, and he just pounds it right up the middle.
I was going to say, you go right back to that bread and butter type of play. He got 4 yards when he needed 2, and that keeps the drive alive.
Bradbury going to jog off. In comes Frankie Amore. And now Washington inside the 25-yard line at the 23.
I've got that 10 first downs now for Washington, and how about 10 carries, 59 yards for Bradbury.
Jones, that wing back to the left. Frankie Amore with it. He's going to work out to the left and immediately gets swallowed up. A late flag comes in, and it came from the back as there was some blocking going on downfield.
Yeah, there's going to be a hold, and now we'll see what Hedgesville head coach Joey Urish elects to do. I figure you probably take this one, as that hold looks like it's going to come right around a couple of yards deep in that backfield. Yeah, about 4 yards deep in the backfield. It actually looks like they'll mark it from about the 28-yard line or 27, so it goes all the way back out to the 37 where it becomes first and very long.
Yeah, first and not desirable. Let's just put it that way. So well back from the original line of scrimmage, but still first down at the 37-yard line.
14 yards on the penalty, 3 penalties, 24 yards now for the Patriots.
First and 23. There's a snap to Jace Bradbury working off that right side. He gets inside the 35-yard line down to the 34 before he is brought down. It's going to bring up a 2nd and long, gain of about 4 on that play.
And the big thing right now for Washington with a 5-point lead, they are eating time off this clock. This play will be the 8th of this possession to start the second half.
2nd and 20 upcoming for the Patriots, and it's a great formation to run if you're in this sort of a ball game. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust when they find themselves down by a couple of scores later in a ball game. You're down 14-0 in the first quarter and don't need to change your game plan quite yet. Single back is Frankie Amore. It looked like he was going to be just in the shotgun formation with 2 receivers to the far side, but we're going to get a false start prior to that ball being snapped.
Hedgesville jumped early.
Okay. I saw the jump. It looked like Jace Bradbury was moving, but apparently was drawn off sides by a defender on the Hedgesville front line. So another Hedgesville penalty, moving Washington closer and closer to the first down marker in the end zone.
7 penalties, 60 yards now for Hedgesville.
A 2nd and 15 at the 29-yard line. Amore drops back to pass, and another penalty flag comes in. This one going to be a false start, so let's just wash out those last 2 plays and try it again.
Let's go back to where we were.
It's deja vu all over again.
For Washington, 4 penalties, now 29 yards. That one hurts a little bit because you were able to pick up 5 free yards, give yourself a little better opportunity where right now, again, you're probably in a 4-down situation with that first down marker all the way down at around the 13-yard line.
Morey will stay in, and again, he's just going to go in the straight shotgun. He's got a blocker to his right, 2 receivers to the far side. Morey drops back to pass, immediately rush to his left. He's got to run. He's going to get rid of it going deep downfield and just overthrows his intended receiver, Tyson Lincoln. Lincoln had a step on the defender at about the 10-yard line, but a tough throw for Frankie Amore and just about a step too far out in front of the intended receiver.
And again, good pressure by Hedgesville. That's a very tough throw for Amore, rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback, having to turn his whole body and then make that throw on the run, and ended up putting it out in front of his intended target just a little too much.
3rd down and long coming up from the 34-yard line, 3rd down and 20 for the Washington Patriots. Again, a blocking back in front of Frankie Amore, who was in the shotgun formation. Jace Bradbury, that wing back to the left, 2 receivers to the far side. Immediately, Amore has to rush to his left, going deep again, and that ball is intercepted by Hedgesville. Number 9, Sawyer Twigg, coming up with the interception for the Eagles. Hedgesville football, what looks like it's going to be at the 15-yard line in Hedgesville territory, and has shaken up on the play a little bit. It was Tyson Lincoln, but he does get to his feet and will jog back to the sideline. And another tough play for Frankie Amore. A penalty on the play, but it goes against the Washington Patriots. It is declined, and Hedgesville takes over at the 16-yard line. 4th
turnover for these Washington Patriots, yet they've been able to survive right now with that lead at 5, 19-14. And look, even though you got no points, you've changed field position, and you ate a ton of time off that clock.
And on a 3rd and 20, that's as good as a punt right there.
Yeah.
The odds are in that formation, just the way that you'd been moving the football, that's probably better than what the punt may have been. So you cut your losses there. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for Hedgesville, deep in their own territory. 2 receivers to each side. Ash in the backfield. Looked like a read option pass, hits the deck. Ash picks it back up and gets swarmed by defenders in red and taken down by what looked like a number 18. It was Ethan Cockrell.
Yeah, he's been all over the place, had a very good game, and that was a case where Ash seemed like he wanted to give that little play fake and then pull back and throw, and he actually hit the elbow of the running back going by, and that didn't allow him the grip to make the throw, and ultimately had to eat the football for a loss.
Yeah, it looked like one of those read option plays. Same formation, 2 receivers to each side, 1 running back in the backfield to the far side of Ash. Direct drop back to pass. He pumps and is going deep down that far sideline. He's got a receiver, and Gerald Jones can't come up with it. Goes in and out of the hands. Oh, that was probably going to go for 6. A great throw by Ash, but just in and out of the hands of Gerald Jones. And I think that may have been a case where he knew how open he was right there.
Yeah, absolutely wide open. Had a chance to pull that one in at about the 40-yard line in stride, and that would have taken him all the way. Instead of a long 85-yard touchdown, you're coming back and facing 3rd down and 11 from your own 15.
And a good pump fake by Ash, just drawing that safety to move or hesitate for a split second. And Gerald Jones right up the seam was wide open. A great throw. And Hedgesville is going to have to burn a timeout as that play clock was down inside 3 at 2 seconds. 3rd down and 11. We'll have to come after this timeout. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. When we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 11. Hedgesville at their own 15-yard line. It's still Washington with a 5-point lead, 19-14. 5:25 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
3rd and 11 upcoming for Hedgesville. It was a mishandled read option in the backfield. It was the loss of 1 yard, and then a drop pass by Gerald Jones up the seam that looked like it could be dangerous. may have been able to go in for 6. Here comes that 3rd and 11. Ash drops back pass again. A quick little pump fake. Going deep. He's got Devin Heath and overthrows him by a couple of yards. Heath, again, had about 4 yards between him and the nearest defender, which looked like Terrence Jones, and Owe Ash overthrows him by a couple of steps. 4th down and 11 as that one falls to the turf.
Another well-designed play to get an open receiver, but a very difficult throw there for Owe Ash as he's throwing over top of that receiver, cutting away from him out to that far side of the field and put just a little bit too much on it.
Injured Patriot again, Ike Spangler. Needing help to get to his feet. And will need some help getting to the sideline. And you would assume the punting crew coming out for Hedgesville, and the 2 missed opportunities there, as they had 2 very, very good opportunities to, if not get a touchdown, at least get a big chunk of yards at one time.
Well, and now for Washington, this offense has a chance to get the football in very good position. Boy, Spangler not really putting the toes down to the turf. He's walking off on the heels as it looks like he may be getting cramping in both legs. And a lot of these guys for Washington, and really for Hedgesville too, they've got a bunch of guys going both ways, so they're not getting off the field a lot tonight.
And it looks like Tommy Wogan has been getting worked on the sideline at about the 40-yard line for the last couple of series. It's been all Frankie Amore offensively. As I believe we'll get Frankie Amore again when Washington gets the football back. J.R. Luttrell out to punt it away. Standing at about the 1-yard line. Punts it at about the 5, and that's a short, low punt. Fielded by number 35, Terrence Jones. He's got a seam up the middle, breaks one tackle, and gets up to the 20-yard line, so already in the red zone for Washington. A good return for Terrence Jones. Good blocking in front of him on a low line drive punt off the left foot of J.R. Luttrell.
Well, the punt covers about 21 yards and the return about 16 yards, and Washington has the football in great field position. You couldn't ask for this second half to start any better. Their first possession, 9 plays. They ate 5 minutes and 45 seconds off the clock, even though it resulted in the interception down at the 16-yard line. The defense holds, and now the offense gets another opportunity.
Chase Bradbury in the backfield. He will get the ball and get right up the middle, pounding forward to the 15-yard line, down at the 14-yard line. Gain of 6 on 1st down and 10.
Bradbury really becoming the workhorse here in this second half. That is already his 5th carry of this second half. Lift him up to 12 carries now, 68 yards on the ball game.
Bradbury coming about halfway over to the sideline to get the play. Having some communication issues at a play clock. Not a factor yet, just getting under 15 now. Should be fine. Again, Bradbury looking like he's the primary recipient of the football here. Terrence Jones at far side wing back. Again, they give this to Bradbury immediately. He will tuck it away and pound right up the middle, close to that 1st down marker. He's only about a yard short down to the 11-yard line, and Jace Bradbury wanting to put the team on his back right now.
Yeah, he really fought hard to get what he was able to get. Right now, you're looking along the near sideline, and you've got Frankie Amore out, and you still have Wogan out, and that's 2 guys that have been very key back in that first half.
So once again, it's Bradbury with Jones as the wing back to the far side, and Bradbury make that Bradbury, and he will get inside the 10 and get the 1st down. He's going to get down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal at the 8 upcoming for Washington, and once again, knocking on the door.
3 of 9 now on 3rd down conversions, and a great job by that right side of the offensive line to cave things in. Bradbury took that snap, froze momentarily, saw that lane, and took it for the 1st.
Ethan Cockrell coming about halfway over to the sideline to get to play. He's been that back to the right of Jace Bradbury. And Terrence Jones, that wing back here in the single wing. Tight formation here. Once again, 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. There's a give to Bradbury once again right up the middle. And that time stuffed by the defensive line of Hedgesville. Getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, no surprise what the Patriots are doing right now on this possession, and that time Hedgesville able to fill up that box and not allow any major opening, and a nice job by Bradbury to wrestle his way forward for a gain of 1.
Now we have a Hedgesville defender down with where he is in the field, can't get a number. with the first Eagle we've seen go down. There's been 3 or 4 what looked like conditioning or heat-related injuries in regards to cramping here for Washington, and now we have an Eagle down at about the 8-yard line. Let's go ahead and take let's go ahead and take a 30-second break while they get that injured player off the field. 2:57 left here in the third quarter. 19-14 Washington still with the lead. They have it second and goal at the 6-yard line. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
EMTs came over, but
Hey, I got 100 spot if you just shout my company name out. Oh my God.
Welcome back into Marcus Field, 2:51 and counting. Playback underway, and we have a penalty flag on the field. False start, and that is going to take what was a second and goal at the 6 and move it outside the 10-yard line. It's going to make it a second and a goal at the 11.
that's costly. 5 yards, 5 penalties, 34 yards against Washington in this game. Penalties have not been a huge issue, but that one hurts as it moves it all the way back out to the 12.
Frankie Amore back out at quarterback for Washington. Jace Bradbury to his right. Once again, Terrence Jones. That wing back, Amore has it. A high snap, has moved his right to get it and is swallowed up by a host of defenders. In there first was Devin Heath making the initial contact along with number 55. That'll be Gabe Toast.
Yeah, Heath, the linebacker off that right side of the defense, came upfield. Nobody was able to get to him as he got a quick jump off the football, was able to hit him, drive him backwards, get some help. That's back to looks like the 21, so that loss is going to be almost 9.
Went from first and goal at the 7 to now third and goal at the 21. See what Coach Simpson draws up here. Again, you're thinking probably 4-down territory, as we have 1:45 remaining in this third quarter of action, and we have a false start penalty, and just like that, Washington's quickly moving in the wrong direction.
Yeah, they haven't had this trouble since, early in the game, when really it wasn't penalties as much as it was those high snaps that cost them. Now this possession, what started very promising with a 1st and 10 at the Eagle 20, now not so promising.
Yeah, 3rd and 26 at the 26-yard line. Still technically 3rd and goal.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Redskins back in the early 2000s. 3rd and goal from the 26. There's a snap to Amore. He's going to tuck it and run. He's got a seam to the right side. He's inside of the 20-yard line, inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line before being pushed out of bounds inside the 10. What looked like about the 9, but still going to be 9 yards short of that goal line. And we have another whistle, and looks like another injury on that far side of the field. And players in the way. It looks like a white jersey down. And it is a Hedgesville Eagle down on that far side of the field. And you hate to see this in this point in the game, but right now we got guys dropping like flies.
Yeah, and again, it looks like cramping the way that they are working on the leg of the defender on that far side. How about that run there for Amore? Again, able to weave his way through a little traffic, and then that burst of speed getting to the outside, able to pick up 17 yards and set up now a 4th and goal at the 9.
And again, many people associate cramps with either really cold weather or really warm weather. But when you have as many players playing both sides of the football as both of these teams do, it's just a conditioning a cramp at this point. I think that's what we're seeing is we only have 1 minute and 10 left in the third quarter. A lot of these players have played both sides of the ball throughout this entire ball game. And when you have the lower numbers that both of these squads do this year, you're going to see that an awful lot. And it's something they're going to have to battle with as this season goes on. Looks like we're going to have a field goal attempt. And Griffin Price out to attempt. This one going to be a 25-yard kick. Frankie Amore going to hold as we're under 1 minute, 53 seconds and counting here on this third quarter clock. There's a snap, the hold, the kick. Price's kick is up, and it is good. Splits the uprights. A 26-yard attempt, up and good. Griffin Price. A 22-14. Now the lead, Washington over Hedgesville with 44.3 left here in the third quarter. We're going to take a 1-minute break. When we come back, it'll be the ensuing kickoff and Hedgesville Eagle football. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, you know, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
Taken off the clock, and a 26-yard field goal by Griffin Price gives Washington a 22-14 lead. Still technically a one-possession game, but it would take a touchdown and a two-point conversion just to tie the ball game here. Price on for the ensuing kickoff. Seen a couple of squibs earlier. This one, another onside kick attempt, and that was going to be picked up and attempted to move up the field. Number 38 on the return. That is Jay-Sean Presley on the return, and I'm guessing he's going to get an earful from his special teams coach. Those guys are supposed to drop on the football. They're up there as blockers for a reason.
How about this unusual drive that resulted in the field goal? The possession started at the 20 of Hedgesville for Washington. 7 plays, 11 yards, but it took 4 minutes and 21 seconds off the clock. The 26-yard field goal for Griffin Price makes it 22-14 Washington.
That scoring drive summary brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361. 2 receivers to each side. Owie Ash in the shotgun formation. Quick screen to Devin Heath, and misses that throw. That is a pitch and catch throw. And Owie Ash is thrown it a little too far upfield than Devin Heath was expecting.
Seems almost like Ash was expecting the receiver to be moving towards the line of scrimmage, while the receiver Heath was standing still, expecting the pass to come to him before making his move.
I think Ash was expecting more of a swing pass, not just a straight screen, where Devin Heath was expecting more of the straight receiver screen than that swing pass. That'll bring up second down and 10 at the 46-yard line. 2 receivers to the east side. Another pump fake going deep down that far sideline. Devin Heath going up, and I think, again, mistimed that jump a little bit as he was coming back down as that ball was coming towards him. It falls harmlessly to the turf at about the 20-yard line. It'll bring up third down and 10 at the 46-yard line. 27.3 seconds left here in quarter number 3.
Heath became as much a defender as a receiver in that case, as Terrence Jones, the junior defensive back, had pretty good position and was going to leap up to try to get to that one. I think Heath just went up to make sure that Jones did not bring it in. That's 4 straight incompletions now for Ash, and Hedgesville has now run just 5 plays in the second half for -1 yard.
That'll bring up third down and 10. 27 seconds left in the third quarter. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Owie Ash going to get swallowed up, avoid the first sack. Then after reverse field, he's going to tuck it and run to the left side. Pulls back momentarily, but continues to run across midfield down to the 46-yard line. Still isn't going down. He's fighting for that first down. I believe he got it. Great second, third, fourth, fifth effort by Owie Ash, and that's going to be a fresh set of downs for Hedgesville. And another Washington Patriot down back at the back end of the play. And Washington's sideline is getting thinner and thinner at this point, and guys that can come out onto the field. And it was Tyson Lincoln who's going to need some more help coming off the field, and he was a little shooken up earlier after diving for a ball down the sideline, and looks like he's holding that shoulder a little bit, so not sure that's cramping. That may be a shoulder or chest injury. He was right in on the play trying to sack Owie Ash, and a good job by Ash making something out of nothing. Pulled back to throw a couple of times and then just decided he was going to try to make the move himself and drug about 4 tacklers on his back. getting the fresh set of downs.
Something out of nothing. How about 12 yards when he should have been tackled for a loss of about 10? That was a great effort.
1st and 10 is the clock under 3, 2, 1, and that's going to do it here for the third quarter. It was a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Hedgesville in Washington territory, and that is where we will pick it up when we come back. 3 quarters in the books, 1 to play. Don't go away. A 1-possession game. Hedgesville down by 8 with the football. 22-14, the Washington lead. We'll have the fourth quarter of action when we come back. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a monitored security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Welcome back in. Fourth quarter of action getting ready to start here at Marcus Field. 22-14. The Washington Patriot lead here in the opening night of high school football across the Mountain State. Hedgesville with the football, 1st and 10 at the Patriot 42-yard line. And Matt, I think that last run by Owie Ash is definitely a candidate for our electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Appliances.
Yeah, absolutely. Should have been tackled in the backfield for a big loss on the play. Able to reverse field, get outside, and then bull his way for about those last 4 or 5 yards to make sure he gets the first.
Again, electrifying plays all season long will be brought to you by Orsini's Appliances in Martinsburg. 1st and 10, 2 receivers to east side. Owie Ash drops back to pass. At first, pump fakes, then tucks and runs. He's going to go to the far side, beats the defender to the outside. He's inside the 30, inside the 20, jukes back to the left. He's now inside the 15-yard line, down to the 13, and another first down. Owie Ash making things happen with his legs.
Well, everybody on really both sides ended up to the near side of the field as Ash looked to this near side. That's his left side, gave a little bit of a pump fake, and then reversed to his right, and there was just nobody out there.
Running clock as Owie Ash was able to stay or be tackled inbounds. Good gain on that play. Now at the 12-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. A bad snap is going to chase Ash back to the 32-yard line. Tries to pick it up and move, and a dangerous play as Tyson Lincoln was closing in quick, and he is lucky that that wasn't picked up and taken the other way by Lincoln, but that is a bad snap that's going to move that ball back a good ways.
Yeah,
again,
loss
that's back
of
to the 33-yard line.
That's huge.
2nd down and looks like 31 upcoming. 3 receivers again to this near side, 1 to the far side, pump fake. Ash now working to his left. Will find Heath at the 30-yard line. He's now inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line before forced out of bounds by number 53, Nolan Powers. Got to move that ball a little bit closer to the original line of scrimmage, but still, that'll bring up about 2nd and 20. Make that 3rd and 20.
Yeah, gain good for 10, maybe almost 11 yards down to that 23. It's 4-down territory right now for Hedgesville, so this Washington defense has to keep that in mind.
3rd and 20 upcoming from the 23-yard line. All 4 receivers to that far side in an empty backfield, 1 to the near side. Ash in trouble, nowhere to go with it again. Going to tuck and run, avoids a bunch of tackles. He's got to seam up the middle, down inside the 15, inside the 12, down to about the 10-yard line before he's taken down, and that'll bring up about a 4th down and 8. Again, Owie Ash making things happen with his legs. Didn't get the first down, but moving quicker into manageable 4-down territory, and Joey Urish and Hedgesville are going to take a timeout. A big play upcoming on both sides of the football with 10:05 left in the fourth quarter. Hedgesville down by 8.
Yeah, once again, Ash getting the job done as he picks up 9 yards on the ground. So far in this possession, after a pair of incompletions, he picks up 12 on a 3rd down and 10, 30 yards on a run on a 1st and 10, and then completes a 10-yard pass before this 9-yard carry. Hoey Ash carrying this team right now.
In tomorrow night's action that you can listen to or watch, depending on which entity you're tuning in right now. Listen on AM 740, FM 106.5, or tune in on TV 10 or the WRNR TV page on YouTube. We will have the season opener for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, year 35 of Talk Radio WRNR and Martinsburg joining together, and Martinsburg hoping for a 4th consecutive AAA state championship for the 2nd time in program history. H.D. Woodson will once again come up to Coburn Field to lead off the 2019 season.
That'll be a tough opener for the Dogs.
10:05 remaining here in quarter number 4. I believe we are at about 4th and 12 as Zoe Ash only got to the 14-yard line. Devin Heath in motion going near side to far side. He's going to try to swing around Zoe Ash. Going to try to find him in the end zone. The ball, it's underthrown and tipped down about a yard into the end zone. Hedgesville looking for a flag, but that ball was underthrown. Devin Heath going back to try to make the catch, but that's great defense on the far side by Washington. Turnover on downs. It'll be Washington Patriot football.
Wanted to make sure that is a 2-5. That's Davon Johnson who was able to be back there defensively, it looked like, and help knock that one down. Want to make sure, is that a 2-5? Yes, it is. Johnson with the defensive play.
With that turnover on downs, it'll be 1st and 10 for Washington, and with just a tick under 10 minutes left in this ball game, this is where you want that single wing offense to kick in and drain some time off the clock. You don't necessarily need a touchdown here, but you just need to take some time off the clock if you're Washington. And if you're Hedgesville, you need to stop, and you need to stop on 3 consecutive plays here. 1st and 10. There's a give up the middle to Jace Bradbury. Lowers that shoulder and it drives ahead up to the 22-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 8 on 1st down.
Now there you go again. You put the 2 guys side by side in the backfield. Which one's going to get that snap? Really, both of them end up with their hands on the football, but it's Bradbury that takes it and just bulls his way forward. And again, that line, controlling the line of scrimmage, pushing Hedgesville off the football.
And we have seen no running back, quarterback, wing afraid of contact for Washington today. They will lower that shoulder and try to drive through a defender. 2nd down and 3 from the 21-yard line, 9:20 and counting on this 4th quarter clock. There's a snap to Amore. He's going to take off the right side. He's got a gap. He's across the 30-yard line to the 35. He's got room across midfield to the 40, the 35 to 30. One man to beat, and he is gone. It's a Washington Patriot touchdown with 9:05 remaining in the 4th quarter. Frankie Amore off the right side takes it 79 yards for a Washington Patriot touchdown.
We talked earlier about his speed. He has shown it several times as he's been able to get the edge. And that time when he got the edge, boy, he was able to get an extra burst down the near sideline to pull away.
The right side of the offensive line did a great job of sealing the defenders inside. And you saw the burst of speed as Amore just had Gerald Jones to beat. And you just saw the turbos get hit, if you will. And Amore all alone going down the sideline, 79 yards for a Patriot touchdown.
I've got Amore now at 126 yards on 11 carries, able to get into the end zone for the first time tonight with that 79-yard run.
A penalty on Washington. Not sure what the penalty was. The ball getting moved back for the extra point.
It might be a sideline situation with the team kind of celebrating and a little over-exuberant, if you will, about that long run.
On for the extra point is Griffin Price. Frankie Amore, after the 79-yard run, will have to settle down and make sure he gets this hold down. The extra point would make it 29-14 right now, 28-14. High snap, Amore gets down. That one blocked at the line of scrimmage, and the extra point is no good. Still a 2-touchdown lead right now for Washington. With 9:03 left in the game, we'll take a break. When we come back, it'll be Hedgesville football, a 2-touchdown deficit. The Tides have turned 28 unanswered points for Washington. They lead Hedgesville 28-14. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
You care about your car, so you take it to the best mechanic. You love your dog, so you take it to a vet you trust. So why go with just anyone when it comes to your insurance? With a local Allstate agent, you get expert advice you can trust and the best coverage for you. And because they live in your community, you can always count on them to be there when you need them the most.
Call Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
Welcome back in. A 2-touchdown lead for Washington. They've scored 28 unanswered since a 14-0 lead in the first quarter for Hedgesville. 9:03 remaining as Griffin Price sets to kick it off for Washington. And what a great run, a 79-yard touchdown run. Frankie Amore up at the near side on us, and we saw the hole open immediately. What a great run. This one going to go deep off the leg of Price. Going back is Devin Heath. That one bounces just in bounds, and he's going to have to pick up the 15-yard line. Works upfield, gets to the 20. He's got a seam to the near side. He's up to the 35-40. The 45 gets pushed out of bounds. Actually tight ropes the sideline, and he's going to go at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. No whistles, no flags. Devin Heath, it takes it all the way on the ensuing kickoff after the Frankie Amore a touchdown run. Devin Heath returns the kickoff for a Hedgesville touchdown.
Roughly 85 yards on that return, and a kick that bounced in front of him. He went up to pick it up, kind of muffed it a little bit, and then eventually once he grabbed it, he split two defenders who made a little bit of contact, and once he got by them, it was a matter, could he stay in bounds along the near sideline, and he somehow did.
Exactly. I don't know how he did, but tight-roped the sideline perfectly and was able to stay in bounds, and that is the momentum shift that Hedgesville needed. Had gone about 2.5 quarters without being able to find the end zone, and when you want to come back in a ball game like this, you need a special teams play, a defensive play, something like this to get the energy in the air back in your sails, and that is just what we saw from Devin Heath right there, the senior coming through, and seniors come through in big situations, and that's what we just saw.
Well, we have two candidates now for our electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Appliance in Martinsburg. The 79-yard touchdown run for Frankie Amore, and then the 85-yard kick return for Devin Heath. Back-to-back plays.
And Matt and I were talking in the break, and he goes, all right, I'll give the scoring recap, and obviously that's an electrifying play of the game, and before we get the one out, now we got a pair of them. And the electrifying play of the game brought to you by Orsini's Appliances in Martinsburg, offering top names in kitchen and laundry appliances like Amana, Maytag, Genair, KitchenAid, and Whirlpool. And for your grill masters, Traeger wood-fired grills. Find out more online at Orsinis.com. And their new location coming soon at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, right off of Route 9. Drive by that just about every day going to work, and it looks like it's going to be a nice new location. Injury down on the field. I believe it's Nolan Powers. I believe that was a 53.
Yeah, seems to be cramping again as they're looking at the back of the lower leg. Seem to be doing a little massage on that muscle, trying to work that knot out. We had talked earlier about Tommy Wogan, who had such a strong first half. He's actually getting an IV along the sideline as he apparently a bit dehydrated on this warm evening for this high school football opener.
And Wogan's got the blanket around him too, so yeah. That's a big sign of dehydration. All right, well, we have a player tended to on the sideline. Let's go ahead and take a 1-minute break. When we come back, it'll be the extra point or 2-point conversion attempt for Hedgesville after the Devin Heath kickoff return for a touchdown. It's Washington 28, Hedgesville 20. We'll be back in 1 minute.
If you're a hard-working man or woman, you want to get the best selection and value that you possibly can.
Hardworking folks know Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning is the best way to get the service you need if you have a heating or cooling problem. They'll beat any written price. Offer 24-hour service with free estimates and affordable financing. 24 hours a day, call Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality meets comfort, at 304-260-5644.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
Welcome back into Marcus Field. Still tending to a Washington Patriot player on the sideline. Again, believe that is Nolan Powers. Haven't gotten official word on that yet, but believe I saw a 5'3" on the front of that jersey. Again, looks like a case of cramping.
Although right now, the way we're looking, it may be a little bit more serious.
Yeah, a lot of emergency medical staff surrounding him, coaches surrounding him, and the more he lays there and the more people seem to be examining the scene. Maybe a little more than a cramp or a dehydration injury.
Well, Matt, we talked about it earlier off mic during one of the commercial breaks. You look at this roster coming in for these Washington Patriots, and it's a 25-man varsity roster of sophomores, juniors, and seniors. You're already talking about Tommy Wogan, who's been out, apparently dehydrated, a number of other players that have dealt with cramping issues, and at one point we were looking up and down that sideline and kind of counting and going, you've got about 12 players left on that sideline with the 11 players that are out there on the field. And so the last thing that head coach Glenn Simpson and his staff can afford right now is to see players that they're relying on, not only here in this opener, but hopefully throughout the course of the season, to be going down with any kind of injury. Hopefully this is nothing serious, but can be tended to, and maybe he'll be able to get back on the field, if not tonight, maybe next week, as Washington will have a EPAC game against Spring Mills on the road.
And here's what the Patriots schedule looks like. Spring Mills on the road, then a week 3 bye week, so an early bye week for them, and then they'll go 8 straight to finish out the season. North Hagerstown is a home game, followed by Parkview out of Virginia. Well, we understand Parkview didn't have a football team last year.
Yeah, last year they didn't have enough players, and so getting that program started up again.
That is a home game here at Marcus Field. And they go to Coburn Field to take on a Martinsburg. Frankfort is an away game week 7. Preston, they will go to Kingwood to take on the Knights. And they're home against Musselman at Hampshire. And then we'll finish the season in the Jefferson County Battle at home against the Cougars.
It's just flashing through my brain. I don't know that it is. I'd have to look up the date, but I wonder. That's week 8 of the season.
It is not the apple or the buckwheat festival.
I was going to say.
It is not. It is actually on a Friday.
We were up there
I looked that up too.
For the Thursday game and the buckwheat festival.
Oh,
followed Hedgesville up there. Not that buckwheat.
That was
the Saturday Night Live.
Was that Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Tay.
No, not that buckwheat. We're talking about the buckwheat flour and the buckwheat pancake,
which we didn't partake in.
It was a rainy day.
That was a gross day. Hedgesville got a lopsided win over Preston. We had some, in the infant stages of TV, had some technical difficulties and barely were able to get the game on any sort of airwaves at all, which for a 2.5-hour trip, you do anything in your power to get the game on. All right, while they attend to the Patriot player on the field, let's go ahead and take another 1-minute break. And we'll come back and we'll take a look at what Hedgesville's schedule will look like for the rest of this season. We're back in 1 minute at 28-20. Right now, the Washington lead over Hedgesville.
First impressions count, and your sign is your signature. Davis Designs is locally owned and locally operated with a legacy that spans over 30 years. Davis Designs is your one-stop shop for custom handcrafted signs, banners, vehicle lettering, design services, and vehicle wraps. Everything from temporary signs to hand-painted gold leafs. Go see Tom for anything from mild to wild. Call 304-267-7807. Follow them on Facebook at Davis Designs or stop by at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Create your design today.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently, we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Back in on the campus of Washington High School, a stretcher and an ambulance from Citizens Fire Company here in Charlestown coming out to take the player who we believe is number 53, Nolan Powers, off the field. And you just hate to see this in week 1. If it is Powers, he is an offensive lineman and a linebacker who is a junior. So, again, looking to see, I don't see a 53 on the sideline. I know he was dealing with a bit of an injury earlier and believe that was a 53 on the front of the jersey, but again, not confirmed, just what I believe the number was.
Helen, you may have a little better angle to see as they do get him onto the bed to then put him into the ambulance. I am blocked from my view, and of course we pray that whatever the injury is, that it can be dealt with and that he will heal quickly and get back out there with his team. But tough way to start, and really a tough situation because it's been such a good night for this Washington team after falling behind 14-0 in that opening quarter. For this young team to continue to battle and, able to go into the locker room at the half with a 19-14 lead and come out and really play well here in this second half, getting a field goal and the long 79-yard touchdown run, even giving up the 85-yard kick return that has this back to a one-possession game. 28-20 right now, the lead for Washington. You still feel good about what this team has been doing, and with 8:47 left, still anything could happen, but this certainly is a little bit of a damper on what has otherwise been a pretty good evening for the Patriots.
And you hate to think about it in regards to this, but still thinking football tactics. That was a momentum-shifting play, that kickoff return for a touchdown by Devin Heath, and again, you hate to think about it in this light, but this, I think, takes the wind out of the sails a little bit for Hedgesville with this lengthy delay. Again, nothing you can do about it. Injuries happen in the game of football, but again, 8:47 remaining here in the fourth quarter of the ball game.
Helen, plenty of time for Hedgesville to determine exactly what they may want to do in this situation. I think personally you kick the extra point. You're within a possession right now where even should something happen and you not get the extra point, you have that opportunity for the touchdown and the 2-point conversion that could tie the game late. Otherwise, I think if you miss here and then I don't know, I guess either way, one way or another, if you don't get the 2-point conversion here, then you're forced to get that 2-point conversion. But if you do get the single point here, then you put yourself in an opportunity where you can maybe try that 2-point conversion for a win later, or go ahead and play for the tie on the road. We'll see.
Can confirm that is number 53, Nolan Powers, who is being put into an ambulance right now. A leg injury. Both cleats and socks off completely. Couldn't see which leg it was, but definitely a lower body, in the hockey terms, a lower body injury. So again, can't specify what the injury is. We know it's one leg or the other, and it is number 53, the junior offensive lineman and linebacker, Nolan Powers. Real quick before we get action back underway, we took a look at what Washington's schedule looks like for the 2019 season. Let's take a look at Hedgesville. They will be at home to open up their season at Moomaw Stadium next week. Only 4 home games for them this year. And next week they'll open it up against Brooke at home. Then comes the fun part of their schedule. At Wheeling Park, at Morgantown, at home against Musselman, at home against Fort Hill. That was a replacement for Sycamore, Ohio, who is not WVSSAC approved. Then it's home against Musselman before a bye week. That is a tough 5-game stretch for the Hedgesville Eagles.
And then you close it out with 3 on the road at North Hagerstown, not an easy place to play, at Jefferson, who is going to be another strong and athletic team, and who knows where they will be in the playoff hunt at that moment in time, and then at Spring Mills, your arch rival. So after that tough stretch of 5, it gets only maybe a little bit easier with 3 straight road games.
And to close out their season, North Hagerstown, Jefferson, and Spring Mills, all those on the road. Well, it looks like Coach Urish, with some time to think, has elected to go for 2. OEH in the shotgun formation. He will bobble the snap, have to pick it up. It's a loose play. He does have a beeline to the sideline, decides to cut it upfield, and he will get in the end zone for a successful 2-point conversion. Thought he had an easier path to just go towards the pylon, but decided to have a spin move back to the center of the field and had a slight lane to get into the end zone. And that now makes it just a 6-point game, 28-22. The Washington lead over Hedgesville. And a great job by OEH, and this second half has really been OEH just making things happen himself.
And mostly making it happen with his feet. He hasn't quite had the accuracy, 6 of 16 for 65 yards so far in this game. He's completed just 1 pass in the second half. It went for 10 yards, but otherwise he's gotten it done with the legs. A key 12-yard run on a 3rd down and 10, a big 30-yard run that got the football down to the 12-yard line, a 9-yard run, and now what he did to get this 2-point conversion.
Scoring drive pretty easy there. Devin Heath, about an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. A 2-point conversion by OEH is successful. That scoring drive summary brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361. Again, I am Matt Crawford, joined by Matt Miller, John Alderton, our TV10 cameraman, and the man doing the hard job of the evening back at the studio, Caleb Kalibaba Falero. J.R. Luttrell will kick it off for Hedgesville.
Nope.
Actually, it'll be Devin Heath that just does a quick kick up the middle, bounces off the face mask, one of the blockers for Washington, but he will fall on it at the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 37. A little bit of a late hit. No flag on the play, as he was not officially down, still needed to have contact made, but diving in head first on the down man for Washington.
As you said, I believe that was Gary Mwangi who was able to get on that loose ball.
One of those names that you got to ask some people around the program how that one's pronounced. It's Mwangi, and it's pronounced just the way it's spelled, Mwangi. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. The Patriots in their own territory. 8:44 left here in the ballgame. They hold a 6-point lead. There is the snap. Frankie Moore has it. He's across the 40, up to the 45. Here's another long run up the sideline. He's the 40, inside the 35, inside the 30, and pushed out at about the 26-yard line. Another long run, Frankie Moore up the right side.
He'll pick up 37 yards on that carry, and he is certainly making a bid to be our top dog player of the game, brought to you by Jolie's K9 Academy.
Good block by Terrence Jones up the field, being the lead blocker on that play. Brings the ball up to the 27-yard line where Frankie Moore was pushed out. 1st and 10, the clock running, 8:27 and counting. Chase Bradbury and Ike Spangler in the ball game. It'll be to make that Bradbury getting the snap. He powers up the middle inside the 25-yard line down to about the 24. It'll bring up 2nd and about 7.
Almost like a naked bootleg, if you will, out of that single wing as the snap comes back, and Amore, who's to the right side of Bradbury, pretends like he reaches out for that ball and then goes to the right, but it's Bradbury who takes it with virtually no real blocking in front, off to his left to just see what he could get.
Amore and Bradbury in the backfield now. It is Jones as that single wing. He's going to go out to the right side. Be a lead blocker. Frankie Amore with it as he is inside the 24 to the 23. Still pounding forward inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. Great blocking and great effort by Frankie Amore, as that's going to be enough for a Washington Patriot 1st down. He took about a 2-yard gain and made it about an 8-yard gain for a 1st down.
He has really been solid since the tail end of that first half, and now has really helped to carry this team into the second half.
You knew this is a team that was going to use 2 quarterbacks. Tommy Wogan, phenomenal play in the first half. had a couple of touchdowns, went out with injury. And who came in? Starting quarterback from last year, Frankie Amore, who had got some snaps in that first half, and he's been the second half player of the game. Here's the dive up the middle by Jace Bradbury. And he pounced forward inside the 10-yard line. Will actually be marked down right at about that 10-yard line, in between the 10 and the 11, closer to the 11-yard line. That'll be a second down and 5 from the 11. 6:41 and counting here in the fourth quarter of action. Washington 28, Hedgesville 22. There's the snap again. That one is to Bradbury, breaks it off that right hash mark. He's inside the 5-yard line, down to the 3. And once again, Washington inching closer to that goal line and another 2-possession lead.
And you love the answer for this Washington team after the long kick return, the long delay with an injured player that has to be taken to the hospital, and then the 2-point conversion. How was this team going to respond? They get it started with that big 36-yard run to open this possession, and now it puts them into a spot where they've got it first down and goal.
First and goal at the 4. The last time they were a goal to go. Several penalties and a bad snap that really halted a drive. Let's see what they do here. First and goal from the 4, under 6 to play. There's a snap of more. Jace Bradbury has it, powers forward, only gets a couple of yards up to the 2 before he is halted by the big defensive line of Hedgesville. Looked like a Braden Grove, one of the first helmets in there.
Yeah, good job by Hedgesville getting a little bit of penetration, able to slow down that ground game, give him just a yard as they mark it at the 3. 7th play of the possession coming, though.
That'll be second and goal from the 2.5-yard line. Almost the back end of that football, almost touching that 3-yard line. So we'll call it second and 2.5 from the 2. To give Jace Bradbury the direct snap. He is into the end zone, untouched off the right side, running into the S of Patriots in the end zone to our right. It's a Washington Patriot touchdown. They take the lead 34-22 with under 5 to play, 4:56 left in this one.
Bradbury getting into the scoring. You had scoring in that first half from Wogan, a touchdown on the long run here in the second half from Amore, and now a chance for Bradbury to find pay dirt, and very deserving because he has run the ball well tonight.
He has run in that fullback position mentality in this single wing. He has exceeded expectations for a fullback and has done very, very well tonight. It'll be a 2-point conversion attempt. There's the give to Bradbury, this time with the left side. He will be pushed back at the 1-yard line. 2-point conversion, no good. So with 4:56 remaining in this ball game, Washington answers the Devin Heath kickoff return for a touchdown with a touchdown of their own. They have the lead over Hedgesville, 34-22. Well, the final 4:56 when we come back. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
Today we're going to show you how easy it is to make restaurant quality soup in your own home. Step 1, grab a bag of any of the delicious flavors of soups at Johnny's. Step 2, put the soup in the pot and add water. Step 3, walk away. In about 45 minutes, restaurant quality soup for the entire family.
Patriots hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak to the Hedgesville Eagles. It was a 68-8 decision last year. 2017, 43-6 in favor of the Eagles, and in 2016, 33-14. The last win came right here in 2015, a shutout, 59-0. Washington 4 minutes and 56 seconds away from snapping that 3-game losing streak and starting this season 1-0, and that would be huge after not getting a victory all of the 2018 season. A high kick that bounced just inside the 30-yard line, picked up by J.R. Luttrell, immediately swarmed That's what looks like at number 18, Ethan Cockrell, coming in to make that play.
I would say that could be our collision of the game. It's brought to you by Cody's Body Shop at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned. Cody's offers superior customer service at a great price and performed by experienced certified technicians. Find them online, Cody'sAuto.com.
I think Luttrell let that bounce an extra time, thinking it may go out of bounds. Had to pick that up, and immediately Ethan Cockrell in to make that play. 4 minutes, 52 seconds. Hedgesville football. 3 receivers to this near side, 1 to the far side. Ash will start this series in the shotgun formation. Sawyer Twig to his right. Ash with it, and it is the give to the left side. Off that left side, and Sworn immediately taken down by number 71, Jonathan Labley. In the backfield, taking down Sawyer Twig.
First carry of the second half for Twig, who had 3 carries for 13 yards in the first half, and he's going to lose a yard here.
They're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 10. That clock's still running. Interesting time to get his first carry of the second half, down by 12 points with under 5 to go. And Coach Harris is trying to catch somebody off guard.
Yep, trying to cross him up a little.
Yeah, try to get Twig to the outside. 3 receivers now to the far side as they swap the formation. 1 to the near side. Ash with it. He's going to roll to his right. Nowhere to go with it. Has to roll even further to the outside. He's to the numbers. Fires over the middle. Caught by Devin Heath. He's got the first down and a couple yards more up to the 43-yard line.
A nice job again by Ash, keeping that play alive, keeping his head up, looking downfield, and eventually finding an open Devin Heath. And a nice job by Heath to find an open spot in that defense.
And other than Gerald Jones on the big catch and then the missed opportunity deep down the center of the field, it has been Ash trying to find Devin Heath in this ball game. 1st and 10, 43-yard line. Hedgesville still in their own territory. 2 receivers sacked to each side. Ash is going to go deep. He's got a man down the right side. It is Heath, and overthrows him by about a yard. And that ball falls to the dirt. Good coverage on the backside.
How about 7 completions in 18 attempts? 79 yards on the ball game, throwing for Ash. With the ball in his hands, he's had 12 carries for 65 yards rushing.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. 3:43 remaining in the ball game. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. 4 men down for Washington. Another pump fake. Ash wanted to go left. He's going to have to work back to the right. Now reverses field. He's coming back across the field. Reverses field. He's going to stop and chuck the ball deep, going up for it, and that ball is incomplete. It was a jump ball. Frankie Amore had it for a moment. And it looked like Justin Lutterot had it for a moment as well.
Yeah, you wondered who was going to come down with it, and thankfully for Washington and unthankfully for Hedgesville, neither one was able to hold on.
Yeah, Lutterot went up for it, and so did Frankie Amore, and I think Lutterot was more the defender there than anything. Back-to-back incomplete passes. 3rd and 10 from the 43-yard line. 3:28 remaining in the ball game. Empty backfield. Ash in the shotgun. 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. He steps back. He's going to fire deep again. He's going for Devin Heath at the 30. Makes the catch inside the 25 and will roll forward to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10, Hedgesville.
Boy, that is one great catch for Devin Heath, looking back up over top of his left shoulder and then cradling that one in while going down to the ground.
And started there with the right shoulder, then had to adjust his trajectory a bit, go outside the hash marks.
34 yards on the pass completion.
Great pitch and catch. Again with the clock running, Hedgesville down by 12. It'll be 4 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Ash in the shotgun formation. Quickly sends it out to Drake Heath, his first catch of the ball game, and he will slide forward for a gain of 1, maybe a 1.5. It'll bring up 2nd and long. Under 3 minutes to play, 2:48 and counting. And Hedgesville, if they want a shot in this game, we're going to have to find the end zone pretty darn quick.
Yeah, this defense for Washington making them work down the field.
Ash again will be by himself in the shotgun formation. Receivers bunched. 4 to the far side. A stack on top of each other. Drops back to pass. He's at the 30-yard line. Nowhere to go. Off-bounce throw into the end zone, and that ball is deflected, almost intercepted. Ball underthrown, was going deep for what looked like Gerald Jones. The ball was underthrown by Ash and almost intercepted.
Yeah, I've not quite gotten the number on the defender, who stayed down just a little bit. May have knocked some wind out of him as he went high in the air, but had that one in his hands.
Trying to look and believe that may have been Ethan Cockrell again. 3rd and 9 from the 22-yard line. 2:20 remaining in the ball game. Owe Ash again by himself. Receivers bunched up right behind the tight end. Ash is going to roll to his left after receiving the snap. He's going to go deep. He's got Devin Heath in the end zone. It's going to be a jump ball, and Heath makes the catch in the end zone. A flag down. I believe that could be offensive pass interference.
Well, will it be offensive or defensive? I think it's more on the defense, and the touchdown will stand.
From my angle, I thought that could go either way. The defender never looked back, which I think could be the big issue. Heath, regardless of the play, Heath made a great path back to the football. Was ruled a touchdown on the field. Pass interference, and it will be defensive pass interference, so the touchdown will stand. Owe Ash to Devin Heath from 22 yards out, and Hedgesville finds the end zone with 2:10 left in the ball game.
If Washington hangs on, they're going to earn it. This is not going to be an easy win.
And this has been a great way to kick off our 2019 high school football season. 34-28. And Hedgesville's going to go for 2. I'm not sure I see the reason and not to kick the extra point, but Owe Ash is going to take it. He's going to roll to the right. The fires over the middle, and that ball is caught for the 2-point conversion just inside the pylon on the far side. Still looking to get a number of who made that catch. I believe it was Gerald Jones who came down with it. The 2-point conversion successful. Just a 4-point game with 2:10 remaining. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 1-minute break, then come back for the conclusion of this one. It's Washington 34, Hedgesville 30. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Welcome back in, 2:10 remaining on the clock. Hedgesville with a 22-yard touchdown pass from Owe Ash to Devin Heath. So Devin Heath going to be one of our player of the game nominees. Kickoff return for a touchdown and a touchdown catch. And they will assess that pass interference penalty on the kickoff. So Hedgesville kicking off from the 45-yard line in Washington territory. And that one going to be a squib up to the 20-yard line. Nobody really over in that direction. And then that ball's going to go out of bounds. Hedgesville within about a yard of having that be a 25-yard onside kick. Nobody from Washington back in that corner of the field, as they're lucky that went out of bounds. And for Hedgesville, a very, very tough break.
Gerald Jones was the one diving after it and almost got it before it went out of bounds. Hey, by the way, the drive summary, 8 plays, 71 yards, 2 minutes, 42 seconds, 22 yards on that touchdown pass from Owe Ash to Devin Heath.
A drive summary brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance, your total insurance solution, at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361. Well, Matt, this is the test if you're Glenn Simpson. This is the offense you want in this situation. How well have you implemented it? So far, it looks like you've done a great job of implementing it early in the season. But this is really where the rubber meets the road. 2:10 left, and you're running an offense that is meant to drain the clock. And if you're Hedgesville, you have the bigger defensive line. Your defensive line has shown that they can get in and disrupt plays when they need to in this game. So it's a big 2 minutes and 10 seconds to set the tempo for the 2019 season. Again, Washington did not win a game last year, just 3-27 over the last 3 years. And Hedgesville has won the last 3 matchups in this series and 6 of 11.
I do have to say, I never understand the penalty the way that works, where the defense commits that penalty, the offense declines the penalty and takes the result of the play, the touchdown, and yet the penalty still gets marked off on the kickoff. I've never understood that.
Why don't you take that up with the WVSSAC?
It's a National Federation rule, I believe.
First down and 10. Frankie Amore with it off the right, cuts back up towards the center of the field, up to the 30-yard line, rolls forward to the 31. Gain of 6 on the play. It'll bring up a second down and 4. And a timeout for Hedgesville.
Yeah, they've only got 2 remaining. Remember, they had to use one earlier in this second half.
So make that 1 remaining now.
Yes.
Under 2 minutes on the game clock, 1:57. Washington trying to hold on and win for the first time since 2017. Again, you and I talked about it in Miller time all week in the pregame show. Either way, you look at either side of this matchup, and it is a big win for whoever wins this ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
If Washington wins, you're talking about the coming back from 14-0 down in the first quarter. If you're Hedgesville, you're talking about being down by 14 later in the game and coming back to win the game. So either way, going to be one to remember for each one of these football teams, no matter which way this one ends. Right now it is Washington's game to lose. As they hold the football, it'll be 2nd and 4 from the 31-yard line in their own territory with 1:59 left in the ball game.
Yeah, they just put 2 seconds back on that clock.
We will have a reaction from this one in the pregame show tomorrow. Also Miller time tomorrow, and catch the AM Sportscast with Rob Mario from 6 to 8 tomorrow morning as well. 2nd and 4. There's the snap to the right side. It's Bradbury with it, and he powers forward for a gain of about 2. That's going to be up to the 34-yard line. May give him a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 1.5, or a short 2. So, yeah, it'll be 3rd and 2 from the 33-yard line.
How about a pair of 100-yard rushers in this one, as we now have Amore at 14 carries, 176 yards in that long 79-yard touchdown. And for Jace Bradbury, 22 carries, 103 yards now, and a 3-yard touchdown run.
Coach Urish electing to hold on to that last time out. 3rd and 2 from the 33-yard line. They give up the middle, and it's going to be close. The give was up the middle to what looked like Jace Bradbury, and that is going to be awfully close, and that is going to be a first down for Washington. And that about all but sums it up with only 1 timeout left for Hedgesville. Washington can get in the victory formation if they so please. And it doesn't look like Joey Urish is even going to use that last timeout. He's going to let the clock roll. And Jace Bradbury with the big run of the game. Victory formation for the Patriots. There's the first snap, and the knee taken by Frankie Amore. And they're going to have to snap it one more time, as there's about a 2-second difference in the play clock and the game clock. For the first time since 2017, the Washington Patriots are going to be in the win column, assuming this snap goes the way that it should. Again, about 2.5 seconds in between the game and play clock. The Amore getting under center in that victory formation. 15 left on that game clock. They can really snap it whenever. They don't need to wait. And here comes that snap. Amore drops to a knee, and Washington will start the 2019 season 1-0, snapping a 3-game losing streak to the Hedgesville Eagles and picking up just their 4th win in the last 3 years and their first since 2017 with a 34-30 victory over Hedgesville in Week 1. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have a final totals from this one, post-game reaction, and we'll give you some final scores from around the Mountain State, all in the post-game show. Again, the final here from Marcus Field, it is Washington 34, Hedgesville 30.
Maytag knows extra dirty clothes need extra cleaning power. That's why the power of the extra power button makes Maytag extra powerful. Wow. Dirt doesn't stand a chance against this kind of power. Get a load of this. That laundry is stacked. Not bad, huh? The Maytag Extra Power Button. More muscle to tackle the tough job.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ransom. We're here when you need us.
Let's go!
Coming up next, we've got complete game stats and analysis. We'll recap the scoring, name our offensive and defensive players of the game, and take a look ahead to our next broadcast. All on the Postgame Show. So let's get started and head back to the stadium to rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome into the post-game show, brought to you by Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, featuring a full lunch and dinner menu with daily evening specials from 5 to 9, served in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the full menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. 34-30 the final here from Marcus Stadium. Washington gets the win over Hedgesville. They will start the season 1-0. Hedgesville going to fall to 0-1 early in the season. Again, Washington getting their first win since 2017, only their fourth win since 2016, and snapping a 3-game losing streak to the Eagles. Matt, one heck of a high school football game, even for Hedgesville. I mean, obviously you want to be on the winning end of these, but that was a really, really good high school football game that unfortunately somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. Both teams battling back from being down multiple scores, and if you're Hedgesville, it's going to hurt, but nothing to hang your head about.
Hedgesville takes that 14-0 lead in quarter number 1 with a 1-yard touchdown run for Owie Ash and a 5-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback Ash to Devin Heath. But then in quarter number 2, Washington gets 3 scores, an 11-yard touchdown run for Tommy Wogan. Wogan goes in then from 27 yards out, and later a 2-yard touchdown run. Wogan's 3 scores gave Washington a 19-14 lead going into the locker room, and there's the comeback that you talked about as Washington had that lead. The Patriots in quarter number 3 got a 26-yard field goal from Griffin Price. That put them up 22-14, and then a 79-yard touchdown run, one of our candidates for the electrifying play of the game from Frankie Amore, and that put him out in front 28-14. And you wondered, okay, how will Hedgesville respond? How about an 85-yard kick return touchdown for Devin Heath? The 2-point conversion cut it to 6, a 28-22 Washington lead. But the Patriots responded as well. A 7-play, 63-yard drive capped by a 3-yard touchdown run for Jace Bradbury. That pushed the lead out to 35-22 as the 2-point conversion fails, and Hedgesville not going to go quietly with 2:10 left. Capped an 8-play, 71-yard drive with a 22-yard touchdown pass going from Ash to Devin Heath. And that cut it to 34-30 with the 2-point conversion, but Washington able to run the final 2 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock and hang on for a very impressive victory.
Very impressive victory indeed. All right, we're going to take another 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have more from the Palace Lounge post-game show, including our post-game stats, our top dog player of the game, and our electrifying play of the game, along with the collision of the game. That all coming up next on the post-game show. Again, your final here from Charlestown. It's Washington 34, Hedgesville 30.
My address is 300.
My family?
Logical son.